people and with athletes. And Isaiah had been in the program, and he did everything. And we had some injuries that year. It seemed like every wide receiver got hurt that season. And so Isaiah ended up doing everything for us, ended up being our clutch guy, kickoffs, punt returns, everything, and never complained, never did anything. And so we got him an opportunity as a preferred walk-on at Arizona State, and then went there with Todd Graham. Total mistake. I'm not a Todd Graham fan, and anyway. And other people will tell you that as well, but they'll say publicly, they'll say he's the greatest guy in the world. To me, he's not, and that's just my opinion. But anyway, that's another story for another day. And so it did work out for Isaiah. He ended up landing at Arizona Christian University. Best decision for him. Did some amazing things out at ACU, and that laid the groundwork. Had some adversity along the way and bounced back from it. And good for you, Isaiah, and got his shot. He's with the Rattlers, but he definitely deserves the next step. He's paid his dues, and he's better than a lot of wide receivers in the NFL, in my opinion. I mean, he is that good. If you've seen him play, it's a spectacle. It's a show. You go and catch the Rattlers when they open their season in March. They actually play in Moline, Illinois, that first game, but when they're back here on April the 8th, it looks like, against the Tucson Sugar Skulls, you will see a show. And he's getting his old jersey number back, number 7. He was number 18 last year. So go and watch Isaiah. He's a great person, comes from a good family, and he's just he's a local hero. He's a hero of mine. Anyway, guys, we are coming up on the end of a show, and what a show! Yeah, did I lie? Did it go fast or did it go slow?
So fast.
You went fast. Okay. All right. So, Sebastian, what do you got cooking?
Man, me, I just got to take it one day at a time because today is not done. It's just the beginning for me. I got to go cover a game today. It's going to be the 3A playoffs game today against, if I remember correctly, it's Phoenix County Day against Northwest Christian. It's going to be a very good game. Expect a very, the number 2 rank and number 5 rank, so it's going to be a very good game.
So you'll be calling some soccer today for the AIA.
Absolutely.
Well, good for you with our crew. So that'll be fun. We'll be live streaming that one for NFH.
Don't forget to check it out.
Yeah. Olivia, tell us about what you got going this semester.
Yeah, very busy. Like I said, senior year, so there's definitely no slowing down. But all good things ahead. I'll continue with Isaiah's segment, getting to dive deeper into his journey into the NFL and his adversities and everything like that. That's what I love about the segment, is you get to see them off the field, and it's such a different perspective. And he has so many good things to say. He's just, like you said, a great person. And then I'll also be continuing with my other segment, Overview with Olivia, where I just kind of talk about other things happening, whether it be in the Valley or just in general. Like I said, we had the Phoenix Open here last weekend along with the Super Bowl, so that was so eventful. Just getting to talk everything sports, something that I love to do. So definitely a lot of stuff coming your way.
Awesome. And Caleb?
After this, actually, I'm going to go ref.
You're gonna go back to sleep?
I'm actually I got some games to ref.
Oh, you're reffing today?
Yeah. I do have a game to cover for Varsity Sports Show, but
yeah.
I do. Before that, I have some games. I know the AIA basketball season is basically, at least the regular season, doing the playoffs now. So that means no more high school games for me, unfortunately. But I still got recs and stuff like that. So I'm still going to be reffing, and then I'm still going to be doing everything that entails with this program. Directing, producing.
Awesome. Producing packages on the weekends as well for the show. And Varsity Weekly. Guys, don't forget about Varsity Weekly. That's our sports wrap that we air. It's on YouTube every Sunday night and obviously gets archived so you can see it the rest of the week. But there's a link to that every week on our Twitter page at Varsity Show. We love your feedback. Let us know what you like about the show, what you don't like about the show. We don't want to know. But what you like about the... No, I'm kidding. What you like about the show and what you'd like to see covered. And, we're open. We're definitely open. We're doing a lot of great things out there. Our crew is doing a lot of amazing things. Sebastian, you're going to be. You said you're going to be calling some soccer today. So, and you said it's Phoenix Country Day versus whom again?
Should be Northwest Christian.
The Northwest Christian. Okay, so big game today. We're doing a lot. I think we even have some basketball that we're covering tonight. So look for that on our Twitter, as I said, at Varsity Show. Got some events coming up after the postseason. We'll be rolling into baseball. A lot of good stuff. Should make for a lot of interesting talk as well. I'm grateful here in that we're surrounded by an amazing crew. And the show that comes on after us is Easy Sports with Ed and Javon. Coach Smith, Coach Ed Smith, coach with him out at Phoenix College. Amazing human being. He is my brother. And they are out today out at Tryst Cafe in Chandler celebrating their 4-year anniversary. Congrats to Tryst Cafe. Coach Smith and Javon are out there. Best producer in the business behind the glass, and Aaron Decker. Thanks, Aaron. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the Varsity Sports Show. Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you next week. Go Varsity.
Go Varsity.
Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show, where our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating an unmatched platform to showcase talent both in front of and behind the microphone, in radio, television, podcast, and live streaming. The Varsity Sports Show, still your home for youth, high school, college, and you.
Go out and then come back in. Okay.
Broadcasting from the Superbook Sports Studios, KTUS AM 1060, Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2, Scottsdale, Phoenix.
The Renaissance Festival is back. Last time. Yeah. Weekends now through April 2nd. Great shopping on Giant Crafts Market. New shows featuring sea fairies, mermaids, and merriments. Non-stop feasting and more. The Renaissance Festival is back. Weekends now through April 2nd. Discount tickets available at Dashes and Food City or Arizona.rentfestinfo.com. Presented by Delta Airlines, Dashes, Food City, Pepsi, Budweiser, and Guinness.
Family owned and operated since 1946. Milano Music is Arizona's oldest and largest premier destination music. So you can go ahead and jump right on, Lisa.
Ed, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I can hear you too. Sweet.
Giant wall of guitars. There are hundreds to choose. How's everybody in their head? You good?
Yep, that's perfect.
Gibson, Martin, Taylor.
Oh, do you have the sheet to read the sponsor things?
Yeah, I'll do the first couple.
Okay, all right.
Climate-controlled acoustic room and on-site repair facility. Milano's is a complete music store with digital pianos and keyboards, drums and percussion, PA and recording gear, alongside all the band.
Hey guys, I got you.
Hey Aaron, how you doing, sir?
Good, Ed. How are you?
Good, good. I sent you over a couple notes, and remind me the second segment. I got a surprise for you.
All right, I'm ready.
What's up? What's up, Big Aaron?
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention.
Hey, how you doing?
Jay is out in California. His dad's celebration of life is today, so he's over there. And Michael Carotenuto is gracious enough to sit in with us.
Awesome.
And we have Lisa's on with us to start the show as well.
And you wanted to have a short first segment? Okay, and then I am, just a heads up, when I get you on air, I'm going to be stepping away from the mic for probably just like 3 minutes.
Okay. You got it. And one call at 11:15 to Matt Scudero is on the sheet. I think I sent it to you.
Yep, got it.
Okay. I think Jay, I saw he sent the music to us too.
Cryo and Wellness Center is a health optimization
okay, so we're good to go.
Specializing in cutting-edge therapies for pain and inflammation, performance and recovery, as well as anti-aging and aesthetics. Services include cryotherapy, weight loss, bioidentical hormones, and peptide therapy. Easy Sports Talk encourages you to come in and try a 3-minute
Hey Ed, look back this way. I'm going to tweet this out right now.
Your body can thrive in minus 175 degrees or treat your skin to a rejuvenating cryofacial. Just a couple of the services provided by the incredible staff at E3 Cryo. For more information, visit e3cryo.com. Call them at 602-899-CRYO. That's 602-899-2796. Or stop by their Phoenix location at 13615 North 35th Avenue, Suite number 2, Phoenix, Arizona. And be sure to tell the friendly staff, Ed and Jay from the Easy Sports Talk sent you.
With 2 Valley locations, Tryst Cafe focuses on organic, natural cuisine from the kitchen to the bar. Tryst is open. How has the tour of duty been going for you?
3 to 6 p.m.
Good, good. We've been gluten-free menu and cool, cool. Vegan options. Yeah, we've been talking about it, and the spacious and beautifully I think we'll do the, we've been doing the read like in the seventh segment, but we'll talk about it in the first as well, and then we'll hit it again later on the show. Wine, beer, and over 35 creative cocktails. In addition, there is a coffee and smoothie bar you can order from as you dine in or choose to take out. Tryst Cafe is a two-category top 10 winner in Ranking Arizona 2022. Be sure to visit the Chandler location at 4205 South Gilbert Road, in Phoenix at 21050 North Tatum Boulevard. And for more information, I have a couple questions for you. I was curious about. I'll just spring them on. I know you'll be ready for it. Yeah. No, it's real easy. I just had.
Yeah. If I'm on air, you know it's easy. Come on, he can't give me anything tough.
Easy Sports Talk is brought to you by
Although
great
bring your
of the show,
microphone.
Cult Artisan
It's on the
Beverage Company, the official beverage
yeah, it's on the side.
company of Ed, Jay,
Yep,
and
other
the
way.
Easy Sports
Oh,
Talk show.
there you go.
Mary, you might want to. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
And go ahead and just bend it right on up in there.
There we go.
Now we can hear you. Yep.
It's gonna give me like a biology question or something.
No.
Well, I'm walking away. If that comes out,
I'll be like,
yeah, you're on your own. No, I'm out.
I only lob softballs. I love it. I'm an alley-oop man. I'm not gonna make you shoot from the corner. Alley-oop, slam dunk.
You're live.
And welcome to the Easy Sports Talk Show. Hope you're having a great start to your weekend post Super Bowl weekend. Man, things are calm out here now compared to what they were. Sitting with one of my good friends, Mr. Michael Carotenuto, sitting in for Jay. Jay is on the road this week. His dad's celebration of life is out in California. So, thoughts and prayers to him and the family. Thank you, Michael, for coming and sitting with me.
Oh, absolutely.
Actually bumped into you at Media Row last week.
I know.
Always good to see a familiar face. So, and always great to see a familiar face here at Tryst Cafe as well, coming to you from the Chandler location, 4205 South Gilbert Road. We're going to have Miss Lisa Cananisho. I'm getting so used to saying your name that it actually flows now.
You rock that.
I'm getting
that
pretty
was
good.
Really
That's very
that was without
Italian,
any
Lisa.
fault either. So
it's like my last name.
I don't even put the second N in.
Ah, nice.
So before we get started, I want to let everybody know this segment is brought to you by Cult Artisan Beverage Company, one of the first to launch nitrogen-infused coffee. They offer everything from specialty coffees to a botanical infusion line of caffeine and sugar-free brewed beverages. Call Cult Artisan Beverage Company at 623-434-0939 or visit ilovecult.com for more information. And if you want to tweet at us, get at us on at the Easy Sports Talk. You can get us at Ed Smith Speaks, at Javon Love, and that's Love with L-U-V. And you can hit us up on the Easy Sports Talk hotline, 602-260-1060. Aaron's behind the glass. See, I love when I hate when Jay's not here because I have to do all that. You're going to do it from here moving out.
Hey, you taught me how to read last time, man, and I didn't screw it up.
So first off, like I said, we're coming to you live from Tryst Cafe. Thank you, Lisa, for having us, one of our greatest and best partners, and celebrating the 4th anniversary.
14 years of Tryst.
14 years of Tryst.
4 years at this location in Chandler.
Yes.
But 14 years of Tryst. Yes.
And so first off, congratulations. We all know how tough it is, especially in this industry, to get 1, 2, 3 years in your 14 years. And then 4 years here, you've been a great restaurateur. I think I said that right.
You did.
Yeah. And have other successful locations. But first off, tell us a little bit about how things have been going for you here at Tryst.
Things have been going great. I mean, it really feels like it's only been a year or two, really.
Yeah.
I mean, just time flies. We've been just blessed with wonderful, loyal patrons. Just have enjoyed the evolution of Tryst, starting out with just breakfast and then diving into dinner. And then we really followed this path of like gluten-free and vegan. So we just continue to evolve. I wouldn't say that we're trendy, but we evolve with what's going on in the communities.
Well, I always feel sophisticated when I'm at your location.
Thank you.
And
I was sitting here thinking
because few months ago we did the Phoenix location. Now we're here, and when I'm thinking about your food, when I'm sitting here with you and I'm looking at atmosphere, I really do. I feel like because we do shows at all types of locations, and I feel certain ways when I'm at certain locations. I actually feel a little more sophisticated, and the name alone says it. And then the affair with food, and so it really is. I feel good when I'm at your
Oh,
spots.
I love that. Thank you. It's funny that you say that, the sophistication, because that's really what we try and emphasize in terms of the creation of our menu and our ambiance, etc. I think the cafe sometimes throws people off.
Yeah.
Where people don't expect to have 35 craft cocktails. They're a little higher level, quality premium alcohol that we have, and the plates that we present. They don't expect it. So
Yeah.
I always say now, it's my new tagline is expect the unexpected.
There you go. Yeah. And I did have a question. Do you have a question, Mike?
Oh, no, I was going to say, like, you're saying real quick is because last time you said I think it was the strawberry French toast.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my, yeah, because Ed got something else. I was like, she said that. She had me at strawberries before she even got to French toast. So, yeah, I mean, again, and you're right. The cafe thing, I think that's interesting. She says that, Ed, because people see cafe like, oh, and me, like I told you last time, I mean, you've been busy, but I'm like an adopted Italian. I don't do coffee. I've never been a coffee person. Orange juice in the morning is my thing. People see cafe like, oh, but yeah.
Yeah.
I told everybody about the strawberry French toast, and I'm like, guys, it was amazing. I mean, Ed looked over at me, and I was done. He barely took 2 bites of his food. So,
so I did have a question for you, and for me, I'm driving out to this location. Obviously, last time we were in the Phoenix location, and I'm driving to this one, and I know 14 years in business. This one's celebrating 4, and I started to think, I'm looking at this location, and this area is just exploding. It's blowing up. Mm-hmm. But before it blows up, we all know that it's kind of a remote situation, because you were kind of here early as things were developing. Mm-hmm. How do you have the foresight to look at like a location and think to yourself, that's where I want to be? And because this is, I mean, all the construction, everything, this is a gym right next door. How do you have the foresight to see that's where I want to be?
Of course, you have all of your demographic information. You have to make your decisions based on, practical data that's handed to you. One, knowing that this is going to be a growth area. The Fry's across the street is like the busiest Fry's, like in this, I want to say almost in the state. I could be wrong, but it's that busy.
Okay.
So that kind of information tells you this is going to be a great area. Having the gym here, that was like, that's our crowd.
Yeah.
Sprouts, that's our crowd. So those couple of things too. And then when you come out here and you feel something.
Okay.
I think that was then the cherry on the frosting. It was like, yeah, this space feels really good. And that was kind of our original take. It kind of played it backwards. In our first location, it was really a feeling.
Okay.
That we really liked the space, and it was like, well, what are we going to do with it? And then that's how we came up with the whole Tryst and organic breakfast, et cetera, et cetera. But here it was a little logic first,
yeah,
and then the feeling that said, this is going to be it.
That's important. You did your homework, and then you also had to, like you said, you had to, like, it almost like that was it. It was in your mind. It's like, yeah, you could see it before it was even done.
Ed, she said the 2 key things there. There's a busy Fry's.
Mm-hmm.
Never, ever, ever, ever go shopping when you're hungry because it is the worst. And after you're done working out, what do you need? Something very good and light. So
there you go.
Phenomenal.
So tell us, Lisa, about the tour of duty, what we're doing here.
So military assistance program is a bike tour where you can come and get a map at either one of our locations. And there's a variety of businesses, restaurants, bars that are on there. And if you can get a stamp from each of those places, and for every 6 locations that you stop at, you don't have to bike it, but it's really, it's kind of geared toward bikers, but you can do it any way you like. You will get a stamp, and then you put in a drawing for a potential win of $1,000.
Okay.
So military assistance is an organization that's wonderful that supports our veterans in a variety of financial ways, housing, food, whatever their needs are. So it's a wonderful organization. It's been around for many years.
Very cool. So tell everybody how they can continue to follow Tryst, and give them real quick the featured menu item today.
Ooh, Tryst Cafe, www.trystcafe.com. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Featured menu item today, I'm going to go and pick the Hawaiian breakfast, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a fun meal. It's one of our originals, and you won't find it anywhere in the state.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to continue to spread the word. Might try to have you back on later on the show as well.
Great. Love
but
to be
like
here.
I said, you just do a wonderful job, and I love how I feel when I come here. So thank you once again for having us, Lisa. And, Jay is out today. Appreciate you, Michael, for sitting in. Going to have a great show. A lot of sports to talk about. We got some Super Bowl to wrap up, some Cardinals news to talk about, some Suns news. They've been continuing to make a splash. I got my friend Matt Scudero. He's going to join us at 11:15 to talk about his heartbreak of losing the Super Bowl. He's my next door neighbor, Eagles fan. So we'll get into all that. Appreciate you hanging out. Easy and Michael today. Great Mark from True Narrative is here with us as well. Tryst Cafe, 4205 South Gilbert Road here in Chandler. Hope you're having a great start to your weekend. We will be back after these messages, folks.
Ayukin.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
Clear.
Thank you, Aaron.
Need social information about KDUS AM 1060? Try KDUS1060.com, at KDUS AM 1060 on Twitter, and Facebook.com/KDUS AM 1060.
Family owned and operated since 1946, Milano Music is Arizona's oldest and largest premier destination music store. Located at 38 West Main Street in historic downtown Mesa, Milano's has a 50,000 square foot showroom that features a giant wall of guitars. There are hundreds to choose from as they carry the most popular brands in stock: the Gibson, Martin, Taylor, Fender, Yamaha, and many more. In addition, there is a high-end climate-controlled acoustic room and on-site repair facility. Milano's is a complete
so we
music
went out to
store
taste of the
with digital
NFL.
pianos and keyboards, drums and percussion,
So
PA
I got
and
my guy.
recording,
They had like
alongside all the
former
band
players
and
there. They had
orchestral
like
products
vets
they
and like
carry.
different
And with the
set.
holidays approaching, they're
Throughout the
offering
food.
hundreds
Oh
of
my
musical
God.
gift items from
So
all
we-
price ranges.
so
For
Maureen
hours
had
of
us,
operation
Eric and I interviewed
additional
the,
information, call Milano Music at
two chefs, the guy that was the burger champion.
1111 or visit
Oh my God.
Milano
I
Music.
mean, they gave us, I only took a little bite. We were talking to people. It was
With over
amazing.
11 years of serving the Valley, Majestic Services is who you should call for your pressure washing and window cleaning needs. From driveways to sidewalks, pool decks, awnings, patio blinds, even handyman services, and more. Majestic Services has you covered. Call 602-614-9401 today for a free, no obligation quote, commercial or residential. Call Majestic Services or visit them at majesticservices.net. Majestic Services, let us do your dirty work. 602-614-9401.
We are EIC Agency, and agency is an understatement. We're a full-service customer acquisition powerhouse that can help you slash the cost of new customers and increase the lifetime value of your customers. Our team of experts leverages content production, ads, SEO, automation, and analytics to get the most out of your marketing dollars. So if you want to reduce customer acquisition costs and increase the lifetime value of a customer, there's no better partner than EIC Agency because we make every impression count. Check us out at EIC.agency.
With two Valley locations, Tryst Cafe focuses on organic, natural cuisine from the kitchen to the bar. Tryst is open for breakfast,
5 cents champagne with any meal.
Daily from
Right.
The extensive gluten-free menu and expanding vegan options are always unique and flavorful. The spacious and beautifully decorated Chandler location has a full indoor-outdoor bar that serves bottomless mimosas, Bloody Marys, wine, beer, and over 35 creative cocktails. In addition, there is a coffee and smoothie bar you can order from as you dine in or choose to take out. Tryst Cafe is a 2-category top 10 winner in Ranking Arizona 2022. Be sure to visit the Chandler location at 4205 South Gilbert Road, in Phoenix at 21050 North Tatum Boulevard, and for more information go to trystcafe.com. Tryst Cafe, where an affair with naturally delicious food awaits.
Your caddy, Ray Adams, takes you beyond the 18th hole on Saturday mornings with Great American Golf from 6 to 7 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
You're live.
And welcome back to the Easy Sports Talk Show. Hope you're having a great start to your weekend. It comes to you live today from Tryst Cafe in Chandler. Make sure you come out and support both of these great locations. But go to trystcafe.com. Check out the Phoenix location, address Chandler location. This segment right here is brought to you by
Milano Music, family owned and operated since 1946. Milano Music is Arizona's oldest and largest premier destination music store. The 50,000 square foot showroom features a must-see giant wall of guitars. There are hundreds to choose from as they carry the most popular brands in stock. A complete music store, you will find everything you need from digital pianos, drums, and recording gear to orchestral products. For hours of operation and additional information, call Milano Music at 480-827-1111 or visit milanomusic.com.
Yes, sir. And before we jump into this segment, Aaron, I had something I wanted to share with you. Obviously, with football going away, we got less football. The weekends are now wide open for entertainment purposes, right? You know what I did, Aaron? I started the Marvel series.
Yay!
From start. So I went back to Captain America, right? That's the first one.
The original, first Avenger, yeah.
First Avenger. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm on my way, man. This weekend I plan on, I think whichever one is the second one, I'm going to start hitting those. So I started
you can look it up real quick.
No, I have the list.
Oh, chronological order, not how they came. Perfect.
Yeah, so
I did that too during the. I think I told you that last time we were here. Yeah, Aaron, I know I told you because I was. There was not much to do in the pandemic, so I'm like, wait, let me watch these in chronological order, and I did one a day for,
Yeah, first thing I thought was, I can't wait to tell Aaron this. So
I think you got a great plan there. I think that should be like the new normal is that after the football season ends, you just then transition into like Marvel superheroes.
There you go, man.
Until the football season starts again.
I'm telling you.
Aaron,
so
I want to thank you
way.
for getting Ed in that direction because, Aaron, you and I have had many of awesome conversations. I tell people you and I would geek out over it, but I'm glad you slowly but surely got Ed down that road, Aaron.
Yes, sir. So, obviously, we've got some football to wrap up here. The NFL season came to a conclusion last week, and, like I said, you and I were down there at Media Row and bumped into each other. We saw a whole bunch of people doing a lot of different things, but obviously the game was the meal. So everything was the appetizer leading up to that. We had what I thought was a great game. I'll get your opinion on how it ended, but Chiefs come away 38-35 in Super Bowl 57. I'll run through the storylines, and then both you and Eric can tell me what stuck out the most to you. First off, we had Hurts with the fumble 6, as I call it, which I thought was kind of a game changer because the Philly was rolling with as far as time possession. Seemed like they had full control of that game, and it was almost like they let Kansas City hang around, especially with that fumble. At the half, they were only up by 10. I think it was 24-14 because of that fumble primarily. Eagles came in with that vaunted defense, 0 sacks, 0 turnovers in the game. So Mahomes stayed clean throughout. He was 21 out of 27, only 180 yards in the air, but the 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Then they had the 65-yard punt return to set up another score. And then obviously we had the defensive holding penalty at the end, which allowed the Chiefs to run the clock out, get that field goal. It was kind of anticlimactic. Then one other thing I even forgot to put on my sheet, the field. The field was a mess.
Yeah, they were talking. Well, I mean, it wasn't a mess. I don't know why they made them or why they decided to paint. Yeah, they decided to. I mean, when people say paint it, no, it's not slick like regular house paint. I know a lot of people get that. But, yes, it was slick. I know that Mahomes I changed his cleats right away. They showed a picture of Jalen Hurts. His cleats from first to second. Yeah, so, I mean, I know he changed his. That would be the only thing. I mean, that field usually, yes, during the season, I mean, you can kind of see the marks, but they had obviously a month and a half to get it right. So, I mean, it looked good last time because in the 2015 Super Bowl and even in the 2007, they didn't do that.
Something was off because you could see where guys were taking it and they were literally
100%.
losing their feet. They were and I played in those type of fields. Most of the time it was after a heavy rain or something where it was just sloppy. This was months to prepare. It's on a grass that they cultivated and kept it outside and then moved it inside. It looked pristine, but you could tell anytime guys are changing their cleats that early in the game, you know something's up. And I'll go back to all the things I just mentioned, and I ask you, Aaron, what was your biggest takeaway or the thing that stood out most to you? Was it the field? Was it the fumble, the holding penalty in? When you think about this game and how it ended, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Yeah, I mean, you already kind of mentioned it about how Patrick Mahomes was pretty much clean throughout the game, and I think it was that Eagles pass rush was just not able to get to Mahomes. Also, on the fact that you also mentioned this as well, but that Jalen Hurts gave up that fumble that went up to it that ended up the defense ended up scoring. I think anytime that you're playing the Chiefs, you cannot give them points when they're not on offense. It's already so hard to stop Patrick Mahomes that if you're just going to give points away on defense, that's just a terrible way to hope that you're going to win that game. So I think those are the two main things that I think impacted the game, along with the field as well.
And the time of possession came as 35, almost 36 minutes for the Eagles, 24 and some change for Kansas City. And it was, like I said, that fumble to me, that was like a game changer because it wasn't just a fumble. It was giving them 6/7 points, and that kept them in the game. What was the biggest thing for you, Michael, and with all the things going on, the biggest thing to you that when you think of Super Bowl 57, that was the play or the situation that will ring in your mind?
I mean, to me, it was a great game. I mean, yeah, that you're right. That fumble 6 was huge. The play in the second half as well that was deemed incomplete. And remember, I've said this to you a million times, at that level, their speed and their quickness is their gift, but it's their curse too.
Yeah.
Because the second one that the Chiefs would have had the second defensive touchdown, he was just able to make a jump stop, and boom, guy was right there.
Yeah.
If he gets there a quarter second later, like somebody slow like me would have got there, a half second later with that same hit, that's a second defensive touchdown for the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
But it was, okay, so the thing that gets me, and you talk about the second half, the Eagles in the first half, I think it was 17-6 in favor of first downs. The Eagles had 17
they
first
were grinding
downs.
it out. Yeah.
The first downs for the games finished 25-21, so it was 15-9 or 15-8. Sorry, 15-8 in favor of the Chiefs in the second half, picking up first downs, which piggybacks off Aaron's point. You give Mahomes the ball, and look, as for the holding, I've said it a million times. I mean, look, the fact that Bradbury said he pulled his jersey and they thought they'd let it go, like, it was holding. When you're that and this is why I've said to you quickly why the slow motion replay has ruined sports, because we see the replay and it's slowed down.
Yeah,
people are like, oh, it looks like I just grabbed you like that. Like, people have to understand when you have that much speed. I'm not saying, how do you know Mahomes wouldn't have put a little more air under that ball so Juju could go get it? Like, it was a holding call, and he didn't even need to make the first contact. But then when he got over, and he had his arms around him, it was a good call. It's annoying it happened in the Super Bowl, but Ed, it's a penalty.
What's interesting is in the entire game, there were only 9 penalties called. You're talking about a clean game. Kansas City only had 3 penalties for 14 yards. Eagles had 6 for 33 yards. That is as clean a game as you can get in the NFL. And the fact that last penalty, the holding penalty, was called, it's like, some will say, why?
Right.
At the same time, it was a penalty.
But how many more penalties should have been called? Because that's what annoys me about the playoffs. And I've said this to you, and I mean, you say it to Aaron all the time. If it's a penalty in the first game, and a penalty in the 8th game, and a penalty in the 17th game, if you don't want the refs to be a part of the game, why are they skipping those calls then?
What I would say is, in the end, if it's a penalty, it is a penalty. I just feel like we were robbed of a little drama, because imagine, okay, they don't get that. It's third down. They don't get that. They kick their field goal, right? And then you give the Eagles a minute and
like
47 seconds
the ball
or whatever
down the field
with that.
In the first, because in the second half, look, the Chiefs defense did what it needed to do.
It would have been like, it would have been so much more drama to give them that opportunity. But, as
to me, it was a great game.
It's a penalty. It was still a great game.
It wasn't a blowout. Sign me up for that.
Yeah, it was a great game.
I just, again, because people, if that penalty was called in the first quarter, and people say, well, you're being ridiculous. No, it's still the same game. If it's called in the first quarter, you're like, oh, okay. But if they don't call it, and I forgot who I was listening to. We were going through. I was just going through. If they don't call it, though, Ed, what's the conversation in Kansas City? Oh, you don't want them to make calls. It's a penalty. Next year if we get back there, we're just going to do that.
In the second half, the Chiefs did not punt. They scored on every possession. And
say that again. That's just insane.
They did not punt, and they scored on every possession.
At the NFL level. Now, we're not talking high school. No offense, or college.
The Eagles had a couple opportunities. I would look back to that 1 4th and 2 that they ended up punting on, and then giving up the 65-yard punt return. they've been so successful
and he
with
almost
that.
fumbled that. I mean,
Yeah,
you saw the catch. I mean, he
yeah.
came up, and I'm like, what are you doing?
But
And then I'm like,
you know what I also found interesting? That was the longest punt return in the Super Bowl history.
Yeah.
65 yards. You would just think, because the punt return years ago was just such a, an exciting part of the game. And I know we've had 90-yard punt return.
Devin Hester started the game off with against the Colts with that touchdown.
Yeah, but the fact in 65 and 57 versions of the Super Bowl, that ended up being the longest one, which, a heck of a time for it, and it set everything up. The game, like I said, it came down to a field goal. I feel sorry for the Eagles fans. We're going to talk to my neighbor and good friend Matt Scudero, 11:15.
Oh, that's right.
And I saw him yesterday. I was leaving the house and I saw him, and I knew he was going to be on. I talked out the door to him at the car window. He's like, man, it still hurts. It still hurts. And you know what I said to him? I said, I know your pain because I lost one on the field.
Right.
So as a fan, and what is interesting, and we're going to talk to him about this, the stadium was like 75% Eagles fans.
It was.
They came out here and represented.
Philly West, man. It was Philly West. They spent those $5,000 to $15,000 on tickets. Ed. They bought a used car, but they got to go see a hell of a game.
Yes, they did. So in the end, great game.
1 minute.
The ending was kind of anticlimactic.
Real quick, the Chiefs outrushed them too.
The rushing game,
first or second half. But would you have thought? Granted, it was 158 to 115, But you look at that, Hurts had 70 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. But for the Chiefs to outrush him, that's the one thing that surprised me. Not that the Chiefs won, that they outrushed Philly.
Yeah. So in the end, great game, great finish to the season. We're moving on now. It's like we got that long hiatus without football. We're going to have a lot to talk about. We're going to, after we even come back from this break, we're going to talk a little bit about some Cardinals news. We got combines and drafts and all kind of things ahead of us. So appreciate you hanging out. Easy and Michael today. Easy Sports Talk, KDUS 1060 AM as well as Chaos Selects HD channel 200.7. Got a new app that you can listen to the show on as well. We'll talk about that later. Aaron behind the glass, Mark behind the camera. Over here at Tryst Cafe in Chandler. Make sure you support this great business. Be back after these messages, folks. Hope you're having a great weekend so far.
Ayukin.
Clear. I'll be right back, guys.
Thank you, Aaron.
Have you downloaded the KDUS AM 1060 skill for Alexa yet?
Alexa is frustrated. No matter how many times do you ask, the answer is mail, chicken.
Once you're ready, say Alexa, open KDUS AM 1060 to listen to your favorite shows.
This is Ed Smith, host of the Easy Sports Talk Show. How cool would it be if instead of hearing my voice,
I was gonna go.
you and our listeners were hearing
about
a
hitting
promo about
Jeremy
your
up to go
amazing
to the
business.
baseball
Even better,
game because they play
what if
San
we were
Diego
doing
State
a
at
live
12:30,
remote on one of
but
these
then the men's
beautiful
hoops team
Arizona
plays
Saturday
at
mornings
4.
from your establishment?
So
If
I
you're
would have been
interested in
there,
partnering with the Easy Sports
which isn't a
Talk
bad
Show,
thing, but
visit edsmithspeaks.com.
after this, I
Click
figure
on
I'm
the
just
radio or contact
headed
page,
back to my
or
buddy's
send
house
us an
because I got to
email
feed the
to
dog.
info@edsmithspeaks.com.
E3 Cryo and Wellness Center is a health optimization
that's what I
clinic
thought, 'cause I was
specializing
like,
in
man, that'd be a
cutting-edge
good idea
therapies for
if
pain
it's
and
coming down the
inflammation,
freeway this way,
performance and
and I'm like,
recovery,
even if he
as
says,
well as
well, meet me at my
anti-aging
place,
and
I'd be like, all
aesthetics.
right, I'll
Services
but then I
include
totally forgot.
cryotherapy,
He's like, hey,
weight
man,
loss,
you remember
bioidentical
on
hormones,
Sunday
and
he
peptide
said,
therapy. Easy Sports Talk encourages
that was
you to
actually
come
at a
in and
house
try
in
a 3-minute
Scottsdale, yeah. So
cryotherapy session.
I was
Find out how your
off,
body
like,
can
the 101
thrive in
in,
minus
McDonald.
175
Okay.
degrees
That's the
to
time it
treat
told me
your
to
skin
take
to
the
a
60 and the
rejuvenating
stupid,
cryofacial. Just a couple of the services
How you doing,
provided
sir?
by the incredible staff at
And the
E3
stupid,
Cryo.
there
For
was
more
some construction
information,
I had to
visit
get off. Remember I told you to take the
e3cryo.com,
scenic way
call
back
them
here.
at
And I'm like, man, I should have just went up to
602-899-CRYO.
202.
That's 602-899-2796.
That's why I said if you're going to swing by and get
Stop by their Phoenix location at
on Saturday too.
13615
But
North 35th
even
Avenue, Suite
during
number
the
2,
morning,
Phoenix,
rush
Arizona.
hour,
Be sure to tell the friendly staff, Ed and Jay from the Easy Sports Talk sent you.
You know what? Screw it. And I went and I took it all the way back to the 101 right here and went down into Tempe.
And largest premier destination.
It saved me probably about 30
located
minutes.
at 38 West
25
Main Street
minutes
in
at least.
historic downtown Mesa. Milano's has a 50,000 square foot showroom that features a giant wall of guitars. There are hundreds to choose from as they carry the most popular brands in stock: Gibson, Martin, Taylor, Fender, Yamaha, and many more. In addition, there is a high-end climate-controlled acoustic room and on-site repair facility. Milano's is a complete music store with digital pianos and keyboards, drums and percussion, PA and recording.
Pretty good, yeah.
Alongside all the
we got a
band
lot of
and
good
orchestral
interviews. We
products
actually
they
talked
carry.
to
And with the holidays
Burns,
approaching,
who
they're
had the
offering
you were
hundreds
sitting down, but
of
kind of by
musical
a
gift
single.
items from all price ranges.
The
For
No
hours of
Filter Network.
operation
They want
and
to put
additional
her.
information,
Eric and I had
call
a
Milano Music at
call meeting with them
487-1111
and
or
next
visit
Monday.
milanomusic.com.
Okay.
As a national family of public charter school campuses, Imagine Schools partners with parents and guardians in the education of their children by providing high-quality schools that prepare students for lives of leadership, accomplishment, and exemplary character. Imagine Schools of Arizona offers 13 campuses across the valley serving grades pre-K to 12. Imagine Schools focuses on educating the whole child, which means not only rigorous academics, but time also spent on character education, extracurricular activities, and truly getting to know your child one-on-one. To enroll your child or learn more, visit imagineschools.org.
But yeah,
We'll do what's best for the team, and we'll do what's best for you.
The Rich Eisen Show coming to you weekdays from 3 to 5 p.m. here on KTUS AM 1060.
Okay.
And KTUS
Yeah, I got a couple things I'll update you on too, and I'm going to be trying to get into.
You're live.
And welcome back to the Easy Sports Talk Show. And definitely got to give a shout out to Brother Jay. Even though he's away, he always takes care of us with that music, man.
Oh,
so he hooked us up. So this segment right here is brought to you by
Majestic Services. Contact Majestic Services to do all the dirty work around your home or business. Majestic Services will pressure wash your driveways, awnings, pool decks, sidewalks, and more. Call Majestic Services at 602-614-9401 for your free, no obligation quote today.
See, that's why I like Jay to do all the reads, because I'm just like So we got some news here in the Valley with our Cardinals. The big news, obviously, was Super Bowl leading up to the big game, and Cardinals, they purposely held off on making their announcement, new head coach, and they had to, actually, because of who they actually hired. They actually hired Jonathan Gannon as the new head coach. He was, of all people, the defensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles. And coincidentally, they lost both their offensive and defensive coordinator, who are now head coaches. Their offensive coordinator went to the Colts. Defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon comes to the Cardinals here.
Yes,
now,
sir.
I had no idea and still don't have much of an idea of who Jonathan Gannon is. He isn't one of those guys that has been around as far as coordinator for long. Last couple of years he has been there in Philly with the Eagles. Before that, he was a DB coach in Indy, an assistant DB coach with the Vikings from 2014 to 17, quality control coach from 2012 to 13 with Tennessee. So he's bumped up the ladder a little bit here, and there.
I think Belichick was a quality control coach back in the day, way back when.
This hire, I'm a little on the fence with this one.
All right.
I'm trying to. It's marinating for me. Obviously, somebody has to get the job. There's only so many candidates. If you look at the list of candidates that came through here, there were some that didn't want the job. There were some who took other jobs that a little head scratching, because you would think they were better jobs here than what they ended up taking or staying in positions. There's only 32 head coaching jobs in the NFL. And this was one that was almost like hot potato. It was like somebody's got to take it, and which is a bad sign. Obviously, there were reasons that speculating throughout why this was such a hard job to, whether coaches didn't want to work with one Kyler Murray or even Bidwell. It's one of those.
Yeah, I think the Sean Payton. I'm with you, because if you're kind of and what Ed's doing is getting at Sean Payton. A lot of Cardinals fans, of course, wanted that because of what Sean Payton offensively. I mean, the grind that man. I mean, I know they showed it a few times on, even before Monday Night Football, but like I never forget that him and Drew Brees in the session, like pretty much Drew Brees is finishing the play calling sentence, and I mean on the same page. Sean Payton wanted more control, and then when a head coach wants that, because like Bill Parcells' famous quote back in the day, well, they give you all the. It's like, well, if I have to cook it, but I don't get to pick the ingredients. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, the Sean Payton thing, I think it would have been interesting. The Jonathan Gannon hire, though, not to go off on a tangent about Sean Payton, Ed, I mean, like I said, I'm the type that I like it. I mean, any team And again, I know the Cardinals don't have the same defense, and it's a bummer J.J. Watt felt it was time to retire because I would have loved to see J.J. Watt with Jonathan. I mean, 70 sacks in the regular season by the Eagles last year, 78 through the postseason.
Some will argue that their schedule, when you look at what they faced, was not like murderer's row. They feasted on some
NFL player.
I'm just saying.
That?
No, I'm
it's
just saying
NFL.
they feasted on some Giants. They feasted on some Commanders.
Giants, playoff team. Commanders, not a playoff team. Cowboys, obviously a rival playoff team. And then you look at, okay, they beat Pittsburgh. There was Pittsburgh. And then of course, yes, the NFC East had the AFC South. So Tennessee, Jacksonville. But I'm just saying. But still, you make the plays, you make the sacks. I mean, I just again to have okay, it's not like they had like 13 in one game and then leveled out. I mean, and I get what you're saying, but 70 sacks, the pressures. Yes, I understand who the Eagles defense.
What would you say to somebody that says, "Look how they got exposed toward the end of the Chiefs game, what the Chiefs did to him in the Super Bowl"?
Patrick Mahomes got – okay, well, the Chiefs will – no, 100%, fair question.
I'm just being devil's advocate. I'm just messing with you.
No, I love it because you're 100% right. My theory is Patrick Mahomes, 1.7 seconds to get rid of the ball. You're going to rush me? Cool, man. If I can't – and on one leg, I'm going to run for 23 yards when everybody goes upfield and it's just part – the line opened up like the parting of the seas there, and he took off and ran for 23 yards. But Patrick Mahomes is going to get rid of the ball quick.
Let me ask you this, because this is my only concern.
All right.
Once again, we're hiring a dude. He's 2 years as a coordinator, yes. One, he's a defense coordinator. We'll see what he does with that. Our biggest concern has been our offense, for one. We'll see who they bring in as the offensive coordinator.
Yes.
We'll talk about that next segment.
Yep.
My biggest concern is, once again, you're bringing in a coordinator with a couple years of experience, but is he a good coordinator or a leader of men, meaning a leader of an entire team, not just a good defensive coordinator? We might be experiencing, and we have to give him time, so we'll do that. But what was Kingsbury when he came in here? He's going to be this guru as far as the offense. He's going to this mastermind. And my question for the last 4 years of Kingsbury, I kept asking everybody, okay, he's a good coordinator, but is he a head coach?
Right. Now, you
a
asked
CEO?
that too. Right. You asked me that last time I was here.
We had candidates who, at least a couple of them, that we let them get out of our midst, like a Reich and a Brian Flores. These are guys who had experience as a head coach. I'm just wondering, are we heading down the same path with a guy? And we got to obviously give him a chance. One of the quotes that he made that has me a little concerned, he in his press conference, he said, "I don't believe in a scheme. I believe in putting players we have in position to be successful. We will look different week to week." That scares me. That scares me just a little bit.
Oh, see, I think that's his plan.
No, that's a plan. Okay, I like that he's got a plan. I would like different terminology. We're going to have an identity that might change week to week, but I don't believe in a scheme. Everybody has to have a scheme, in my opinion, as far as being a head coach. You have to have some type of scheme and an identity. I like the code words. When you're talking about we're going to look different from week to week, I mean, that can mean anything. I'm a little scared about the fact
that's coach speak. You should know better than that's coach speak.
Well,
because
somebody should have been in his ear.
You just want people. No, you want people to. What are we going to prepare for? Of course, they're going to look at the tape at what Philly did, obviously coming into the early next season. But to that point, look, when you have a guy like Budda Baker, and we saw the steps that Byron Murphy took. He took steps last year, but this past season, Byron Murphy to me stepped up as that corner that you're like, okay, you can see it there. You have Budda Baker on the back end. Now, and Isaiah Simmons, I told you last time, that's my guy. I think somebody like you need to get pressure on the quarterback. That's my whole point. I mean, an Eagles team, yes, that had 70 sacks, he coordinates defense. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to give away the game plan. I'm with you on that. Okay, the words could have been better.
Yeah.
But look, to me, it's coach speak. It's like liar's poker with the draft, Ed. You and I have talked about it for years. Man, are you going to listen to anything a GM says a month before the draft and think it's true?
I'm listening to code words.
Code words. Ed's got code words.
For instance, when you think about the Philadelphia Eagles, what were they? They were a smash mouth running
team,
around,
absolutely.
running team, and defensively they were going to get at you. But when you think of them, they had an identity. That now when you're talking about scheme, like I said, I don't want to nitpick. I'm just saying I'm worried that we got another coordinator in who's going to take the job, and he's going to, this is what my defense is going to look like. And I'm thinking, what's the rest of the whole team going to look like? When I think about Eagles, I'm thinking about hard-nosed, smash-mouth, run the
I
ball.
think he brings that to the defense. Buda Baker's that kind of safety. Isaiah Simmons in college, and I mean, not that he hasn't been in the pros, has been is that kind of player. So look, I'm with you. You got to prove it, but
there was something else that they're on this team now. He's coming in with an empty slate because 31 free agents currently on this roster.
Yep.
So now you got to worry. It's going to be.
And
now,
are they going to trade DeAndre Hopkins? I don't think he wants to.
We'll talk about that next segment. But now I will give him this much credit. He's going to have the ability to come in here and take this roster and kind of immediately, because he's not coming in with all these players that definitely have to be here. He's going to be able to start shaping it from the very beginning, because with those 31 free agents, they're going to have to make decisions. Who's coming? Who's staying? We obviously have a J.J. Watt retiring. He's going to, he's got a whole lot of issue. What would you say his biggest issue is? I'll tell you what mine is after you tell me. What do you think his biggest issue is? What particular group should he be concentrating on first, or position?
Well, the crazy thing is it's the offensive line.
Thank
you know Hudson's got. You know I was going to go there.
Michael,
it starts up front. That's right. It starts up front with the Hogs head. But no, the offensive line is where he has to go. But I will say this to wrap it up. I mean, you look at Eagles defense. Opponents' points per game, they were 8th. Total yards for opponents, 2nd. Yards per play, 1st. Opponents' pass yards per game, 1st. Sacks, 1st. Interceptions, tied for 4th. But when you say the defense, yes, they had the double. What are they doing? They're playing with an energy. If you can get young guys and you have a leader like Buda Baker, who people will say, look, when they drafted him out of UW, you know me, Pac-12 homer or not, I'm like, that's a home run.
Okay.
Because that Washington secondary is sick. You have guys like Isaiah Simmons, Buda Baker, Byron Murphy. Yes, you need it up front, but to answer your question, you need to see again. You had Hudson at center, which I love. You know he's done. He's done.
Yeah.
And a hell of a career. I mean, I would say probably borderline Hall of Fame career. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But I mean, the dominance he had in LA.
The
but
good thing is,
but I will say the O line. And getting on the same page with Kyler Murray. And again,
we'll
not
talk
spoiling
about that
him.
when we come back, because that is huge. And the fact that you said offensive line, I don't even have to answer the question, because you know how I feel.
It starts up front.
It all starts up front. And then, and I know you talk about the stats, what the Eagles did this past season. If he was bringing all Eagles team with him, then I would say
they got some free agents. Maybe some guys end up over here.
Well, we'll see. That's a good point. So we'll see what he does when we come back. We're going to talk about what he has to do and who he has to do it with to make this offense a success. So, hey, appreciate you hanging out. Easy and Michael at the Easy Sports Talk Show, KDUS 1060 AM, as well as KSLX HD Channel 2, 100.7, coming to you from Tryst Cafe, the Chandler location, 4205 South Gilbert Road. Make sure you support this great business. Go to trystcafe.com. Check out the address for both locations. We'll be back after these messages, folks. Hope you're having a great weekend so far.
Ayukin.
Clear.
Thank you, Aaron. Once again, I forgot to mention the 5-cent champagne. Make sure I do that when I
I wrote it down. Oh, so after I read Casual Sports, I'll say, hey, what do you have to tell us about?
KTUS1060.com.
With 2 Valley locations, Tryst Cafe focuses on.
No, when you sent the rundown over, from
the kitchen to the bar. Tryst is open
last
for
time we were here, but every
breakfast,
time I've been
lunch,
here,
and
you
dinner,
wouldn't have doing.
and has a happy
I
hour.
don't know
daily
sports
from
hangover,
3
but
to
even
6
no, but
p.m.
even on our show,
Extensive gluten-free menu.
everybody says
and
NFL pass.
vegan options are always
What does every
unique
single
and
smart
flavorful.
coach and coordinator
The
say
spacious,
before,
beautifully
at least for the
decorated
playoffs?
Chandler
If we
location
can't run the ball and we
is a
can't
full
stop the run, we're not going to win.
indoor-outdoor
But where does that
bar
start?
bottomless
With the Hogs up
mimosas,
front.
Bloody
Is
Mary,
defensive line,
wine,
like I always
beer,
had a
and over
defensive
35
coordinator
flavors
tell me,
to
is
In addition, there is a coffee and smoothie bar you can order from as you dine in or choose to take out.
But that's what I used to have
Tryst Cafe
defensive
is a
coordinator, even
two-category
Coach Kersey
top
used to tell
10
me,
winner
is the
ranking
defensive
Arizona
line
2022.
reset
Be sure to visit
the
the
line of
Chandler
scrimmage?
location
And
at
meaning, are they getting the
4205
pushing it
South
back
Gilbert
to
Road.
where the quarterback,
In
yeah, I mean,
Phoenix
if
at
it gets a drive, you kind of step up.
21050
Or is the
North Tatum
offensive
Boulevard.
line
And for more information, go to
and keeping the distance
trystcafe.com.
of
Tryst
the
Cafe,
line of scrimmage?
where
So
an
I'm
affair
like,
with
yeah, I mean,
naturally delicious
it's
food awaits.
you know, I was bummed because last year
Students enrolled at
when they had
Imagine
that
Online
7-0 start,
Academy, grades
10 and 2,
K through 8, can
what was the
expect to
thing
receive
everybody talked
quality,
about? Offensive
rigorous
line.
learning experiences
Humphreys
that
looked good,
include
the
a focus
offensive
on
line
the
stayed healthy.
Imagine School's
This
shared
year,
values,
it was
along
like 2
with
years
character
ago,
education at the heart of the
Rodney
Imagine
Hudson comes late,
organization
he decides
curriculum.
he's gonna play.
Imagine Online Academy is committed
this
to
year,
providing students the support and resources they need to succeed as learners in online education. Our goal is developing character and enriching young minds. For more information, visit ImagineAZOnline.org.
With over 11 years of serving the Valley, Majestic Services is who you should call for your pressure washing and window cleaning. From driveways to sidewalks, pool decks, awnings, patio blinds, even handyman services, and more. Majestic Services has you covered. Call 602-614-9401 today for a free, no-obligation quote. Commercial or residential, call Majestic Services or visit them at majesticservices.net. Majestic Services, let us do your dirty work. 602-614-9401.
And they went with what they needed, and then you take Levi.
Hi, this is Ed Smith, host of the Easy Sports Talk Show.
If you look
in
at
addition
film,
to hosting the show every
a
Saturday,
person that's never coached like me, and I call games, I've been around it. If I just look at film, there's no way Adrian Peterson gets to me, and I don't take him.
I offer programs to a wide variety of audiences. Tips from the locker room to the
Because you're telling me you couldn't have got that tackle in the second round?
Sports organization, or faith-based organization.
I'm saying you could have got a tackle in the second round that year. You had you were what the fourth or fifth pick? Fifth pick.
I'd love to come inspire and motivate your group to create lifelong.
But I like Bonnie. I mean, what he did with Mike Vrabel and how they worked together there. Mike Vrabel's a defensive guy now. You can say, okay, the offense, yeah, they had Derrick Henry.
Disney only operated since 1946. Arizona's oldest.
He was director of player personnel, which you know they're making a lot of decisions, right? Well, you even told me that last time, because I remember a while back I asked you, I was like, Ed, I know you played, but the director of player personnel, that's the person that pretty much has a GM's ear, because you're with the scouts.
The director of player personnel, he's the dude that once the GM brings him in, he's kind of the dude that puts his hand around, arm around everybody.
But in the scouting process, though, doesn't he? I mean,
yeah, he has a lot to do with helping the scouts.
Okay, right.
He's like the link between the scouts and the GM, and he also
like the GM someone else to look
he has a lot of direct touch alongside all the band and orchestral products they carry. And with the holidays approaching, they're offering hundreds of musical gift items from all price ranges. For hours of operation and additional information, call Milano Music at 480-827-1111.
I think that was the
or visit MilanoMusic.com.
Carving out time in your afternoon for the Doug Gottlieb Show right here on KDUS AM 1060.
Oh, no, I would, yeah. When I go to the station, I take it.
Right.
Yeah. We were at the station a couple weeks ago when I took it. Good.
You're live.
And welcome back to the Easy Sports Talk Show. This segment right here is brought to you by
Casual Sports Radio Network. KSRN is your destination for the latest updates and in-depth coverage of your Arizona sports teams, including all things Arizona Cardinals for the Bird Gang fan base. Visit casualsports.com for feature articles, great podcasts, including the Easy Sports Talk Show, music programming, microphone masters, and more. And speaking of and more, Ed, you gotta tell us something.
Yes, and if you, in celebration of the 4-year anniversary here at Tryst and the 14th anniversary coming up at the location in Phoenix, $5 champagne or 5 cent. 5 cent champagne with any purchase of a meal. So come on down here or the Phoenix location, get a meal and get a nice glass of champagne for 5 cents. Where can you do that? You can't do that anywhere but Tryst. So, hey, let's get into this portion. We got still talking Cardinals here, and we know that, we got Gannon in here as a head coach. There's been speculation now, and I said this last week, if you're going to hire a defensive-minded head coach, you're only solving half the problem because Kingsbury was the offensive coordinator. We know that.
Right.
He goes, now you need to also get a head coach plus offensive coordinator to come in and kind of put his arms around not just this offense, but figure out a way to work with one Kyler Murray. So as of right now, there are like 3 candidates, and I'm going to throw some names out here real quick, and you tell me whether you've heard of any of these dudes. Drew Petzing, Browns quarterback coach, Joel Thomas, Saints running back coach, and Drew Terrell, Commanders wide receiver coach. I've never heard of any one of these 3 dudes.
The one I did heard of is Terrell, but I'm thinking now it could be interesting. I mean, yes, it is.
I hear that Petzing is the front runner.
Yeah.
All the articles say I have never heard of any of these guys.
Yeah, no, Terrell's the one I heard of, but I think, and again, we'll have to see because the news that broke yesterday, the big signing, Eric Bieniemy is going to the Commanders. But look, you know what? Assistant head coach, you're with, and what'd you just say, though? You're with a defensive head coach, and they got weapons on offense, as much as it pains me to say that about them, especially. But they have weapons. No, Washington.
Oh, okay,
so
yeah.
Follow me on this. Eric Bieniemy goes there. He's the offensive coordinator. I mean, if Terrell, it would be a promotion and a pay raise, but I think maybe Terrell might pull his name out. Like you say, guys, because you get to work with Bieniemy now, and you have that receiving core that they have in Washington. So he's assistant head coach there is Bieniemy. But look, I mean, for Pet's sake, again, that man. And yes, I had heard ish of him when you had sent this over. I was like, wait, I'm like Browns. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like that guy deserves a lot of credit with all the junk that he had to deal with. But again, at this point, who are you going to get? You weren't going to get Eric Bieniemy to come in here.
You could have. You never even made an attempt. Once again, here's my problem.
Oh, I don't think he would have came here. I think you'd have pulled a Brian Flores and pulled his name out.
Once again, my issue is we are now taking someone from a position and trying to elevate them to coordinator rather than finding a
quarterback's coach in general. I mean, if you're to your point, a devil's advocate, like you say, real quick. And as a quarterback coach, I mean, you are working, yes, with the quarterbacks, but you're in there with the offensive coordinator. So to me, is that a natural progression? Yes. Do I think the first year could be bumpy? But do I think it would be better than Kingsbury with the experience that Pet Singh has?
I don't know.
I don't.
I mean, you also have to put in when you're doing anything, you have to factor in all the, I guess, the parts of the equation.
100%.
Part of the equation is you're going to also have to come in here and take one Kyler Murray who has not been easy to work with. And that's coming from a head coach that he supposedly had this great relationship with Kingsbury. And you're going to have to – that's another stepping stone. You now have to come in, deal with him, figure out – and on top of that, let's take it from algebra to calculus now because he is not only tough to work with, he's going to be coming off the injury that you don't know when he's coming back.
Right.
So you're going to be working with a second-tier quarterback who's probably either a backup or somebody they draft or whatever it is, hoping that when he comes back, you can slide him into the equation. There is so much of a mess here.
But here's the difference. Right, okay.
It's messy. It's messy.
Look at this. Look at Big Ed retires and he's going all Housewives of Phoenix on me. No. I'm just like the commercial with that when the Housewives are on the field.
I just want to talk to you.
No, exactly. No, but here's the thing. Is it a mess? Yes. Did he have a great relationship with Kingsbury? Do I think Kingsbury is a pushover? No. Do I think he's a very creative offensive mind? He's better than Kellen Moore as a creative offensive mind.
Are you kidding me? You think
Kingsbury's better than Kellen Moore? 100%.
Well, both of them are not good
thank
then.
You. But okay, there you go. But what I'm saying is, Jonathan Gannon's going to come in, and yes, you need a good relationship, but he's not going to take that crap. And that's the thing. Kyler Murray's going to have to adjust. And yes, the Cardinals decided to pay him. Jonathan Gannon and Monty Osendorf inherited him, right? And as we understand, because of that contract. But to me, look, Kyler Murray was there. They showed the video of him working out, and Gannon going in and talk to him. Yeah, it's on camera. They're not going to say much. Look, Gannon and Osendorf's not going to take. I mean, look, he worked with Mike Vrabel. They're not going to take that. When he said we're not going to have divas. Look, I don't think. I think it would be draft pick wise and needing to fix the offensive line. For these two, it'd be great to trade. It'd be great to trade DeAndre Hopkins. I don't want to do it if I'm Gannon and I'm Osendorf. I don't because that's he's the best receiver in football when he's on the field.
Talk is talk.
Right.
And I'm hoping that they come in here.
But
I'm hoping.
But I don't think he takes Kyler Murray's crap.
I hope they come in here with an attitude that they aren't going to take it. As far as Kyler Murray being at the facility and stuff like that, that's like a husband buying his wife candy on Valentine's Day. That's like
no, but I mean, look,
people are making a big deal. I'm like,
Kyler. No. I wasn't making a big deal, and I should have phrased it that way. People always say, he could have sit there. He could have chose to do. I mean, yes, he has a house here, obviously, but he could have chose to go back to Texas to do his rehab, right, and be there.
Let's see where he is in 3 weeks.
Okay, 100%. But I'm saying he's post surgery. He's in the facility. He's with the medical team and everybody who the rehab team and stuff with the trainers and the rehab team. I will take it one step a day with Kyle. You're right, because I'm not going to – you're right. It is a mess. I'm not going to pigeonhole it all in. I 100% agree with you being the messy part. But he's here doing it. He could have been like, no, I'm going to do it in Texas. I'm doing that. So when you see a quarterback in the facility –
he did it when they hired the coach and he knew
but
the
they
cameras
said he'd been in there since after – I mean, from what I heard, I wasn't at the facility, but from what I heard –
I'm hoping he is.
He's been around and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think he knows now – that he needs a definite attitude adjustment. Because what did I say to you last time? Like, we know you have talent, but you can't have the Aaron Rodgers body language if you haven't at least won a Super Bowl and done that. So
with all the talk, I'm hoping for the best for that young man and this organization.
Absolutely.
I am still a little worried that everybody we're putting into these positions are people that are doing it for the first time. We got a first-time head coach. We're going to have a first-time
This is a much better hire than Kingsbury, though. If I'm going to be honest,
here's the thing.
Better.
Only time will tell. So this is part of what we do. As people that talk, we have to give our
100%,
opinion because
100%.
we don't know yet. And I'm hoping that 2 years down the line, I'm still not talking the same way I was about Kingsbury when he first got the job. I was hoping when Kingsbury took the job.
Yeah, but last year there's a lot of people say a lot of good things about Kingsbury when they were 7-0 and 10-2.
No. From the very beginning.
Right. No. I know you did.
I was
know.
like, Kingsbury, he's a coordinator who never had a head coach, and he showed that he's probably a good coordinator that probably should have never had a head coaching job, but we gave it to him. I was waiting for that transformation because just because he never had the experience doesn't mean he should not be given a first opportunity, just like Gannon.
Right.
And I'm hoping that Gannon proves me wrong, just like for the last 4 years I kept saying, I hope he proves me wrong. And year after year, week after week, I never saw the adjustments. I never saw this. And the problem with having someone in their first opportunity, and here's the thing, we got so sick and tired of for years, it was just recycling coaches. We don't want to see the same old, but at the same token, at some point, I would like to see somebody with some experience in what they're doing.
Gannon
look, you so say you.
I'm just saying, look, Cliff Kingsbury, and you talk about it here. The detractors was he was a USC offensive coordinator for 3 minutes before he got that job. He didn't have a winning record in college. He also coached Patrick Mahomes, as we know, in college, and you can say, okay, the way he worked with quarterbacks, what he got out of him. Yes, did he maybe need to not start as a head coach and be in the NFL quarterback or just offensive? I don't mean just, but offensive coordinator. I'm with you on that. But I'm just saying, not that you weren't. You said you wanted to see more. When they were 7-0 and 10-2, and then they're going, and then they had a little fall down the stretch, and then the Rams, who won the Super Bowl, beat them down. And with that Rams team, it's like, okay, guys, it's not really a surprise. But that being said, I look at it as Kingsbury was more of a long shot. With Gannon, yes. Do I want to see? Yeah, can you do it from a head coach standpoint? Can you get the same out of a Cardinals defense, like I said, with those few cogs that you already have, and what you add? If you can get that effort, then Cardinals fans will see it. So again, is it a mess? To your point, yes, but everybody, it's not as bad of a mess. It's just a little spill. It's not the whole table yet.
What I'm going to do is obviously, I love when you chime in from time to time. So let's let this marinate for a while, because at some point we will get through this long, dark off season, and we'll be playing preseason ball, and we'll be playing regular season football, and then I'll be like, Mike, call in, because you know
I don't run away. I called in and said I was wrong.
So
a few
1
times.
hour down. Appreciate you hanging out. Easy and Michael on Easy Sports Talk Show, KDUS 1060 AM, KSLX HD channel 100.2. Aaron behind the glass, Mark here behind the camera, getting it in with True Narrative Media. Appreciate you hanging out, giving us part of your Saturday. We're going to take this break. Be back with hour number 2. Hope you're having a great weekend so far, folks.
You can.
Clear.
Thanks, Aaron. I'm going to jump out and jump back in, Aaron. They hooked you up? Okay.
Get transported to another time with hits like Squaw and Roar. Fans say it's Dynamite, Jurassic, and worth waiting 200 million years. Tickets are free with general zoo admission and include an interactive possum, dino-themed photo op, and much more. Visit phoenixzoo.org.
Family-owned and operated since 1946. On the table over there?
Arizona's oldest and largest premier destination.
Located 38 West Main Street, given the opportunity.
Downtown Mesa, Milano's has a 50,000 square foot showroom that features a giant wall of guitars. There are hundreds to choose from.
You'll jump
They
into
carry the
Little
most
Sons and
popular
KD
brands in
now.
stock: Gibson, Martin, Taylor, Fender, Yamaha, and many more. In addition, there is a high-end climate-controlled acoustic room and on-site repair facility. Milano's is a complete music store with digital pianos and keyboards, drums and percussion, PA and recording gear, alongside all the band and orchestral products they carry. And with the holidays approaching, they're offering hundreds of musical gift items from all price ranges. For hours of operation and additional information, call Milano Music at 827-1111 or visit milanomusic.com.
Imagine Schools of Arizona is now hiring bus drivers. Serving 8 campuses across the valley, there are plenty of great opportunities available. When you join Imagine Schools, you will receive paid training, paid time off, great benefits, a 401k program, and with a starting salary of $17.50 an hour and up. To apply or for more information, contact Frank Sturpey at frank.sturpey Stirpe at imagineschools.org. That's frank.stirpe at imagineschools.org. Or call him at 602-318-4888. E3 Cryo and Wellness Center is a health optimization clinic specializing in cutting-edge therapies for pain and inflammation, performance and recovery, as well as anti-aging and aesthetics. Services include cryotherapy, weight loss, bioidentical hormones, and peptide therapy. Easy Sports Talk encourages you to come in and try a 3-minute cryotherapy session. Find out how your body can thrive in minus 175 degrees or treat your skin to a rejuvenating cryofacial. Just a couple of the services provided by the incredible staff at E3 Cryo. For more information, visit e3cryo.com. Call them at 602-899-CRYO. That's 602-899-2796. Or stop by their Phoenix location at 13615 North 35th Avenue, Suite number 2, Phoenix, Arizona. And be sure to tell the friendly staff, Ed and Jay from the Easy Sports Talk sent you.
With 2 Valley locations, Tryst Cafe focuses on organic, natural cuisine from the kitchen to the bar. Tryst is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and has a happy hour daily from 3 to 6 p.m. The extensive gluten-free menu and expanding vegan options are always unique and flavorful. The spacious and beautifully decorated Chandler location has a full indoor-outdoor bar that serves bottomless mimosas, Bloody Marys, wine, beer, and over 35 creative cocktails. In addition, there is a coffee and smoothie bar you can order from as dine-in or choose to take out. Tryst Cafe is a 2-category top 10 winner in Ranking Arizona 2022. Be sure to visit the Chandler location at 4205 South Gilbert Road, in Phoenix at 21050 North Tatum Boulevard, and for more information, go to trystcafe.com. Tryst Cafe, where an affair with naturally delicious food awaits.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe.
Weird, just a weird dynamic.
Yeah,
Weird dynamic.
The Texans are terrible.
Yeah.
Easy Sports Talk is brought to you by great partners of the show, including Colt Artisan Beverage Company, the official beverage company of Ed, Jay, and the Easy Sports Talk show.
Boom, boom, boom.
You're live.
And welcome back to hour 2 of the Easy Sports Talk show. Hope you're having a great start to your weekend, folks. That's Jay getting it in music-wise. We'll see him next week. Thoughts and prayers to him and the family as he's away celebrating his dad, Chill.
Absolutely.
Who passed away a few weeks ago out in California. Jay and the family, like I said, thoughts and prayers to you guys. This segment right here is brought to you by...
Yes, Colt Artisan Beverage Company, one of the first to launch nitrogen-infused coffee. They offer everything from specialty coffees to a botanical infusion line of caffeine and sugar-free brewed beverages. Call Colt Artisan Beverage Company at 623-434-0939 or visit ilovecolt.com for more information. Yeah, shout out to Jay. I wanted to be in the show. Yes, obviously I lost my dad a while back too. I know it's tough. They're celebrating his life, which is always good. And thankfully you called me and he lets me. I'll half hold it down. That's like I gotta give the UK shout outs. But yeah, man,
I appreciate you come and sit in. And I was talking to Mark before the show. It's it's one of those things like this is like the final chapter. When you lose somebody, having that celebration. I know his dad passed away a few weeks ago, but like this will be like almost like wrapping it up where you can like move on to the next step. And I said we're there for it, Jay, and like I said, just miss him being here, but I appreciate you sitting in and hanging out with me, Michael.
Absolutely.
So switch gears a little bit, talk a little bit of basketball here as football goes off into the sunset.
So you're not watching XFL is what you're telling me.
No. XFL or USFL, they're both because XFL starts this weekend. USFL is coming in a few weeks, and I just can't do either one of them.
Well, you do have your Marvel to catch up on, like Aaron said. But I think once or twice Ed's going to stumble across a USFL or XFL game, Aaron. So if he does, just mark that down, Aaron.
Will you watch? Are you a watcher?
I'll check some of it out. Look, I like how they revamped the XFL. I like how they The Rock took the time, and they're working with arena football too.
Well,
so it gives a lot more opportunities.
I used to be one of those dudes. I actually played in the XFL with the first version of it. In 2001. So I'm not taking anything away from.
No, I know you're not. I'm just like, look, for some people they say they can't get enough football. Others will be like, Others will be like, I'm with you on it.
You know
I'm
what?
with
After the Super Bowl and after like an 17-week season, I'm that dude sitting around on Thanksgiving with the belt undone. I'm like,
You're
oh,
not the
God.
only one, yeah.
I mean, I've had my full. And I'm like, oh, oh my God, I can't eat another thing. That's how I'm thinking.
Well,
like
no,
after the Super Bowl.
that's how I feel after Thanksgiving. But then my sister pulls out her amazing desserts. It's not just
there you
pumpkin
go.
pie.
Yeah,
Because Ed, I told you a million times, our dad was a baker, so there ain't no way I'm saying no to dessert. My sister pulls out the desserts. Guess what? I just walk a few extra miles the next day.
All right, let's go. Before we talk Suns, we're gonna jump out to the Easy Sports Talk hotline. One of my favorite brothers, Brother Art, on the line. What's going on, man?
Man, what it do? What it do? Like Carotenuto.
What's up, Art? Man, good to hear your voice, buddy.
I just got through bleeding this clock, man, and I had to call in and check in. Then hey, you got to remember this. Just because I ain't calling in don't mean I ain't listening.
Hey, I love it. Love it.
You already know that. You already know that. But I ain't really too much to say. I heard Mike on the dial. I had to give my boy some love, man. But I want to say, man, I want to get your opinion.
Go ahead.
That article, be honest, man, the wrist strain. I don't know which wrist it was. It's right or left. Even though he's dominant, man, I think that might affect Milwaukee, man.
Yeah, he did. It was the right wrist.
You off there, because I'm driving.
Appreciate you, man.
Thanks, Art. Great hearing from you, buddy.
Hey, Mike, good hearing from you, man. I love y'all, man, and I use it.
There you go. Couldn't let Art get away without giving us one of those. Yeah, Antetokounmpo. Yeah.
Antetokounmpo, yep, you got it.
With the wrist sprain.
Yeah.
I think he said he's still going to play in the All-Star game.
Well, he was coaching the Rising. He was part of it last night.
Yeah.
I don't think he played. I think he goes. He drafts his team. Maybe he's on the court for the first minute or two, and then he's done. Because if you're the Bucks, hey, All-Star's great. You're thinking of that. You're thinking of that trophy, and you got to chase down the Celtics.
Well, we got the Suns. Big news last week. They got Durant in the trade. They kind of pitter-pattering a little bit right now. 32-28. Fifth in the West, 9.5 games back. There's a little bit of a logjam there.
Right.
Because at any point you can go from, we've seen them
15th
already go from
or 13th.
1 week they're in 10, 11, 12. Next thing you know, they're up to the 4 or 5
Right.
spot. So right now, only 24 games, something like that left. 22 games left. So normally when you think All-Star break, it's like, well, we still got half a season to go. Man, that
always annoys me.
Yeah,
it should be at the 45-game mark at least.
So they got 22 games left. We got Durant. Fifth, like I said, in the West right now.
And that's because they lost to the Clippers the other night.
Yeah.
If they would have beat the Clippers, they would have stayed in fourth, but they flip-flopped.
Well, my question is, are they – because right now everybody – obviously you bring Durant in. You got this incredible nucleus, light on the bench and light on defense. Do you think they have enough time with 22 left to make that march and not just move up the ladder in the West, but be prepared for the playoffs? Because we all know playoff basketball is 100 times different than regular season basketball. And we saw that last year when they got beat by the Mavericks in the second round. It's a different style of basketball. Are they going to have enough time to make this gel? Because one of my questions, and maybe you and even if you want to chime in, is do they have the ability to figure out who's going to be their number one? Who gets that last shot when it comes down to it? Is it Booker? Is it KD? I mean, these are a lot of things you're going to have to figure out on the run, the sprint of 22 games to the end of the regular season, and then into the playoffs.
You know what? I mean, great point. Since Durant's a vet, and yes, I know he hasn't played with Chris Paul.
They played in the Olympics together.
Well, right, but
that's different.
A while back, but no,
this is
but
Booker's
recently, Booker and Durant, and I mean, Durant always said shining things about Booker, and then for Booker to come off the finals, I mean, both him and Drew Holiday come off the finals, and then go straight to the Olympics and work with him. Look, I think Monty Williams, the way he draws it up, he's not gonna. Kevin Durant understands he's not going to get force-fed. I mean, look, you can say all the right things in the press conference, and I think his opening presser was very good, Ed. But I will say this: he's a veteran. Chris Paul knows how to get people the ball. He's gonna be that floor general that keeps the floor spread.
Yeah.
So 22 games. Normally, I would say, I wish they would have made the trade earlier. But at the same time, for that group, I don't think they'll force it. It'll be pseudo forced organically. But I mean, I think it'll be organic. And you losing Mikal Bridges, I know you gotta give to get the defensive part there. But I think, look, Ayton, I think it's going to benefit him defensively even more because he can protect. I mean, look, on the wings they're going to be fine. Losing Johnson and Bridges is tough, but I'm with you on that. But with Paul, with Booker, with Durant, with Ayton.
I mean, on paper, it's a beast. I just
and
wonder.
I think because you have veterans, just like when Chris Paul came in, he didn't force things. He ran it, but
in a similar situation, we saw what the Mavericks did by bringing Kyrie Irving in, and they've already had an issue with they've that one game where who's taking the last shot.
Yeah.
They kept passing it back and forth. It was like hot potato, and I'm sure Monty's going to have a better grip on it. And and then KD, I think, is one of those superstars that doesn't mind taking a back seat sometime, and not taking a back seat by meaning getting. Some of those cars have three rows.
Yep.
He's not going all the way to the back
Oh,
seat.
hell no.
He'll be right behind the pilot seat,
Right.
and I think he'll have that ability.
But can you just imagine? I mean, and people have said it, and you just with KD taking, like you said, that second row, you just made me think. Can you just imagine the pick and roll with KD, Chris Paul, even Booker?
Oh, it's going to be.
Or
I'm so
DeAndre
excited
Ayton.
to see
like,
it.
Okay, if you're gonna try and go over top of them, good luck. If you're gonna switch it, the mismatch nightmares just on the pick and roll alone.
I cannot wait to see this, and I'm a little disappointed that because KD coming off the injury,
right?
Because he hasn't played since like January, I think early January with that knee.
I think it was the
so it's like he's coming off that. The reports are he's had some great practices.
Oh, I saw that. Did you see the video?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
So next Friday will be their first game together.
Well, he hasn't been cleared for 3-on-3 or 5-on-5 yet.
Well,
so
they're
we'll
saying
see.
he should be back. Hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, with practice, maybe he can get into 3-on-3. But
I want to see that though. It's one of those It's like it's so exciting to think that these 3 or 4 with Ayton. I wonder a little bit about Ayton sometime because
I think this actually helps Ayton even more.
I think he does have the ability to kind of go even
because
further
that
into the dark a little bit.
That little mid range. But I don't think with Durant he will. Here's the thing. I think he shines because of we know Durant can score from anywhere on the floor. I mean, we've seen it, right? 100%.
Yeah.
We know what Chris Paul can do. We know what Chris Paul and Devin Booker can do in the mid-range game. Durant's got that mid-range game. So now DeAndre Ayton, again, down Durant, they'll get him the ball if he's open. And to me, that's the key. But you brought it up in the question. They're going to share the ball.
We'll
Durant's going to be like, hey,
real
if you're
quick,
open.
Real quick, before we go here, because we got Matt on next segment. Aaron, I want to hear from you real quick, too. Do you watch any of the All-Star either festivities or games?
I watched the Rising Stars last night. I always like that game. And then, I'll be at ASU, but I'll watch skills competitions.
Okay,
I'll watch the game? I'll watch the 3-point. Oh, the All-Star game?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, just because they changed the rules and stuff.
Aaron, do you watch the game at all?
Not really. I'll probably if I catch it on TV, I'll watch it, but it's not something that I sit down and plan out.
It's a rolling slam dunk and 3-point competition.
They draft their teams and make it fun for that's what the fans want to see. No defense, and if there's no defense, it annoys me. Ed, so.
When we come back, we're gonna have my good friend and next door neighbor Matt Philly Scadoro join us. We're gonna get his side of this Super Bowl. Feel his pain. So stick around for that. Listen to Easy and Michael Carotenuto on the Easy Sports Talk Show, KDUS 1060 AM, KSLX HD Channel 200.7. Got Aaron behind the glass doing his thing. Got Mark behind the camera, True Narrative Media hanging out with us. Coming to you from Tryst Cafe in Chandler. Great location. Check us out. Be back after these messages, folks. Looking forward to talking to Matt.
Ayukin.
Clear.
Thank you, Aaron.
SB Nation Radio is now Sports Map Radio, keeping sports content fresh and fun. Join us right here on KTUS AM 1060.
Family owned and operated since 1946, Milano Music is Arizona's oldest and largest premier destination music. Located at 38 West Main Street in historic downtown Mesa, Milano's has a 50,000 square foot showroom that features a giant wall of guitars. There are hundreds to choose from as they carry the most popular brands in stock. Gibson, Martin, Taylor, Fender, Yamaha, and many more. In addition, there is a high-end climate-controlled acoustic room and on-site repair facility. Milano's is a complete music store with digital pianos and keyboards, drums and percussion, PA and recording gear, alongside all the band and orchestral products they carry. And with the holidays approaching, they are offering hundreds of musical gift items from all price ranges. For hours of operation and additional information, call Milano Music at 480-827-1111 or visit milanomusic.com.
With over 11 years of serving the Valley, Majestic Services is who you should call for your pressure washing and window cleaning needs. From driveways to sidewalks, pool decks, awnings, patio blinds, even handyman services, and more. Majestic Services has you covered. Call 602-614-9401 today for a free, no obligation quote, commercial or residential. Call Majestic Services or Visit them at majesticservices.net. Majestic Services. Let us do your dirty work. 602-614-9401.
We are
You
EIC
go out
agency,
and see any
and
bases? Do you watch
agency
spring
is
training
an
games? Or?
understatement.
No.
We're a full-service customer acquisition powerhouse that can help you
I'm gonna
slash
go.
the
Yeah, I'm
cost
gonna
of new
go check
customers
out
and
probably more
increase
spring
the
training.
lifetime value
The
of
regular
your
seasons, this
customers.
is easier to get out
Our
there.
team of
So I'd like to
experts
see
leverages
Tory
content
and see what
production,
they look.
ads,
They
SEO,
don't make it.
automation,
I'll let you
and
know. Yeah.
analytics
Okay.
to get the most out of your marketing dollars. So if
Yeah.
you
No.
want to
Yeah.
reduce
That's the only way I go. I
customer
don't go to.
acquisition
Yeah.
and increase the lifetime
Me and
value
Jay
of
have
a
said that
customer,
we're gonna go
there's
see.
no better partner than EIC Agency because we make every impression count.
Okay.
Check us out at EIC.
Jay and I both said that we're gonna try to go to more games. So
with 2 Valley locations,
but yeah, I'll
Tryst
definitely check. I'm gonna
Cafe
check out a couple of
focuses
spring
on
training games so
organic,
they're easier
natural
to
cuisine
get in and out.
from the kitchen to the bar. Tryst is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and has a happy hour daily from 3 to 6 p.m. The extensive gluten-free menu and expanding vegan options are always unique and flavorful. The spacious and beautifully decorated Chandler location has a full indoor-outdoor bar that serves bottomless mimosas, Bloody Marys, wine, beer, and over 35 creative cocktails. In addition, there is a coffee and smoothie bar you can order from as you dine in or choose to take out. Tryst Cafe is a 2-category top 10 winner in Ranking Arizona 2022. Be sure to visit the Chandler
First
location
Avenger.
at 4205
Captain Marvel.
South
Yeah.
Woodward Road.
Yeah.
In Phoenix,
I actually have it on saved on my thing. I
North
can't remember.
Boulevard.
Yeah.
And for more information, go to trystcafe.com. Tryst Cafe.
The first event, the Captain America was good too. It was a good start in. So I'm some of them I've already seen, obviously, so I'll probably skip those.
Ryan Rooks as the duo breaks down the NFL, NBA, and the
Yeah.
local sports scene here on KTUS
You get a
1060.
Calling him out.
Thank you, Aaron.
So yeah, that's okay. Oh wait, man, Grandmaster DJ here, True Narrative Media. All right,
you're live.
And welcome back to the Easy Sports Talk Show. Hope you're having a great start to your weekend. This segment right here is brought to you by
True Narrative Media. True Narrative Media understands in today's world, the visual aspect of media is extremely effective in growing your business and expanding your brand awareness. True Narrative Media specializes in telling your unique story, providing a wide range of video services for companies and businesses of all sizes. For more information, call 623-335-0735 or visit the website at truenarrativemedia.com. And don't forget,
today is 5-cent champagne day. If you go to either of the Tryst locations, grab a meal and you can get a glass of champagne for 5 cents. So make sure you add that on. 5-cent champagne.
I mean,
nice
look,
little,
yeah, you're not breaking the bank on that one. That's
exactly.
and you get a phenomenal meal too.
So we're going to jump out to the Easy Sports Talk hotline. Got my good friend and neighbor, Mr. Matt Philly Scadura, on with us, who at the last minute let me know he was actually going to the Super Bowl this past Sunday, and I was like, wow. First off, Matt, thanks for joining us. I know these are tough after a loss. I've been there before on the field. As a fan, you put as much into it. First off, tell me, how'd you come across the tickets? And you obviously, I think you took your dad with you. What was his reaction when you told him you guys were going to the game?
Yeah, heck of an experience for sure. But yeah, it was a last minute purchase. I was battling back and forth. You know, obviously everyone knows what the ticket prices were and what they were going for, but you know, it's not every year that your favorite team is playing in the Super Bowl for one, let alone playing in your hometown.
Exactly.
So it was kind of hard to pass up an opportunity. And, I've kind of adapted the motto more recently that, hey, you know what? Money can be replenished, but memories can't. And, that was a heck of a memory. But yeah, as far as his reaction, it was priceless. I mean, he was like shaking. He was in total shock. His first question is, "How did this happen? How did you make it happen?" I'm like, "Well, the same way 75,000 other people made it happen." So.
And I know your dad, man. I can only imagine how, and I lost my dad a few years ago. I can only imagine how cool that was to say, "Hey, Pop, we're going to the Super Bowl," and his reaction to see that. You'll never see that again in your life. That type of reaction, I bet.
Yeah, and it was, all I could think my years and even more my later years. So it was kind of a way to kind of give back and, an expensive way to give back, but
Yeah.
nonetheless.
And once you got to the stadium, man, what was it like? Take me through game day, and it felt like Eagles fans came in here, took over the stadium.
It didn't. It's funny. It didn't even hit me until probably maybe about an hour before game time. Pretty much until we got there, like sitting in the actual stadium, and realizing like we're a lot closer than like what the ticket said. Like it was, even though we were section 134, row 7. Until you're there and in that actual row, you don't realize how close you are. So it didn't hit me until getting in there. But I mean, it was a sea of green, which came to no surprise. It was very similar to that when the Eagles were here against the Cardinals back in October. So, yeah, it was a sea of green, and I didn't even realize that when I purchased the tickets, it came with a set of hospitality passes, which there's like different events. There was like a Club 57, and there was something else that came with the set of tickets that I got, and it was basically all-inclusive food and drink, open bars, entertainment bands and stuff.
Nice.
So my dad was living it up, and my girlfriend Marissa too. It was
Hey,
it was a great experience to see the joy on their faces, along with my girlfriend's son too. He had a blast. So.
Oh, that's awesome, Matt. And Matt, I was gonna say, it's Michael here. I was gonna say, yeah, when the fact that, again, you could share that with your dad, like Ed said too. I mean, I asked my dad a few years ago to share things and the reaction, but when you said you didn't know you got the free food, again, the tickets were cheap. I know I would have given them a run for their money. I would have treated it like 5 Thanksgivings. So I would have been eating as much food as possible. But I want to know how early did you get down there? Because I know obviously traffic. I mean, they direct it well, but it gets crazy. How early did you get out to the stadium?
Yeah, we left the house about 9:30.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
We wanted to grab breakfast and knock that out of the way, so at least we can have something to eat before we get in there.
Right.
And this was obviously before we even knew like what are the hospitality passes were going to come with free food.
You wouldn't have had such a big breakfast, right?
Yeah, had I known that, I would have been a little bit different, decision on what I was going to eat for breakfast. But nonetheless, it was still. I mean, they had like different things for kids. They had like set up for like throwing footballs and different things like that. And again, they had like a band playing and entertainment and all that stuff. And it was, like I said, the pregame party, I should say, was off the charts. It was definitely fun and cool and a great experience to experience that. And seeing all like the Eagles stuff pretty much everywhere. And again, it was just a sea of green.
And with a few minutes left, Matt, I know it's a hard, read to go through it all over again. But walk us through the game. Obviously we know the end result, the fumble, the penalty at the end, the emotions as a fan. You had to be, because I'm sitting on my couch. I'm like, oh my God. Walk us through how opening up and then how it ended. Maybe a little spot in between. Give us your emotional roller coaster of a ride.
Yeah, definitely was a roller coaster of emotion. I mean, obviously when we, started with the ball and we went down and scored, I was like, okay, that's ultimately what you need to do. If you lose the coin toss and you have to receive, you should go down and score, and we did that. So I'm like, okay, well, this seems like this is a start of something special, and obviously I had a lot of confidence, as did pretty much every Eagles fan, in our defense to get stops, and that's the opposite of what happened. It was back and forth, but then towards the end of the first half, I think the Chiefs were on the field for maybe like 8 minutes total.
Yeah.
So that the Eagles did their job, not defensively. Offensively, they did their job. They just sustained very long drives. So that was a good sign to obviously keep the Chiefs off the field offensively. And we went into halftime 24-14, up 10, and you're feeling good. You have all the momentum. You saw, and you don't want to see this, Patrick Mahomes go down at the end of the first half and wondering if he's going to come back in. And then, the extended halftime show happens. He gets a little bit more time to, spend with the training staff and figure out what they can do to get him back in. And they come out in the second half, and it's like nothing ever happened to him. They went right down the field, scored, And that's kind of like how it was. It was back and forth. We would score, they would score. We would score, they would score, and then the fumble happened. And it's like, okay, this is so uncharacteristic of Jalen, but he kind of put that behind him. He didn't let it affect him the rest of the game. Got down to being down, what was it, 35-27, and took that. I think they got the ball at like the 20-yard line, went all the way down, scored, and then he scored the 2-point conversion to get it a tie game.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, all right, come on, defense, make a play, make a play. Like, this is where you need to shine, if anything else. And that didn't happen.
The
and
penalty
that
happened.
call happened.
How deflating was that? When that happened, it was almost like that was it.
Yeah, it literally sucked the life out of the stadium. And I was on that side of the field that they threw that flag, and did he tug on the jersey? He did, but was it enough to affect the play? And I felt like that's how the ref should have looked at it.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess they said, like, even though that the ball was not catchable, that's only deemed like you only make that call if it's a pass interference call, not a defensive holding call. So, but nonetheless, I felt like that should have been. They should have still looked at that as, hey, did it affect the play? And it didn't. It wasn't going to matter. I feel like they let one of those go early on in the game, and you kind of set the precedent that, hey, you're not going to make that call.
Yeah, there was one on A.J. Brown I thought should have been called early, Matt, and then Juju Smith-Schuster got ripped around, and the fact the flag didn't fly, I was like, here we go again.
Yeah.
But, Matt, I will say this to you real quick. I will say this before you got to get out of it. I mean, I know Ed's got another one. I will say, I know it's tough when your team loses, but at least, and I said to Ed earlier, spending what you did for the game, but you got to go to a great game. It wasn't a blowout. And like the experience, like you said, money can be replenished, but like those memories. And I'm not a Philly fan. The way you guys lost, the fact it was a great game, at least you have like that memory. It wasn't a blowout either way, and it was just a phenomenal experience outside of the outcome, but a phenomenal overall experience for you to have. So that's awesome.
We got about a minute left, Matt. How do you feel about losing both of your offensive and defensive coordinators just like that? Is it now a rebuild?
I wouldn't say rebuild. I mean, it was kind of expected. I mean, throughout, towards the end of the season, there was rumblings about both coordinators potentially being in the running for, head coaching jobs. So I don't know that I would say a complete rebuild, because they have in-house, they have some good candidates, and I think offensively that's what they'll do for the coordinator. On the offensive side is they'll hire from within. I think defensive coordinator they'll hire from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
So
1 minute.
Most of the team offensively, at least on the offensive side, is intact. So I'm not too concerned with that. They just have some big questions and answers going into the offseason with free agents on the defensive end. But you know what? They got the number 10 pick in the draft plus their own pick. So
I got one last question. I need a yes or no. Is Jalen Hurts your franchise quarterback?
Oh, 100%.
There you go. That's shouldn't even be a conversation. So, hey, Matt, appreciate you, man. When I see you next, I'm gonna give you a hug, bro, because I know you need it. I know you need it like I needed it.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm glad you had that opportunity to spend that with your dad, man. Memories will last forever. I'll see you soon, Matt. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you, Ed.
You got it. We're going to take this break, come back. We're going to talk a little baseball. Can't believe it's that time of the year. And got a little special thing coming up, too. Be back after these, folks. Appreciate you, Matt. Thanks, Aaron, for getting that all put together.
Ayukin.
Clear.
Thank you, sir.
I'll turn those picks into gold. Wall-to-wall NFL coverage and the biggest stories coming to you from 3 to 5 p.m. The Rich Eisen Show here on KDUS AM 1060 and KDUS1060.com.
This is Ed Smith, host of the Easy Sports Talk Show.
Get out
How cool would it be if instead of hearing my voice right now,
yes, you can. It's a penalty.
Do they call it all? Do they call it all season long? No. Do they call it all season long? Do they call it all season long? If the refs aren't going to be a part of the game, you have to make the same calls you make all year. It's in all sports. That's why people hate the NBA playoffs, because if you call those fouls all season long that you don't call them in the playoffs, how are you not becoming a part of the game?
Free Cryo and Wellness Center is a health optimization organization clinic specializing in cutting-edge
Oh,
therapies for pain
oh
and
my,
inflammation,
yeah,
performance and recovery,
we
as
know.
well as anti-aging
Way to let
and
go.
aesthetics.
Way to let go of
Services
Derek
include
Carr, Josh
cryotherapy,
McDaniels.
weight loss, bioidentical hormones, and peptide
Yeah.
therapy. Easy Sports Talk encourages you to come in and try a 3-minute cryotherapy session. Find out
Okay,
how
well,
your
you're
body can thrive in minus 175 degrees or treat your skin to a rejuvenating cryofacial. Just a couple of the services provided by the incredible
Hey, maybe
staff
because your
at
play
E3
caller is
Cryo.
not
For
making the
more
right play
information,
calls.
visit
Dude, Josh
e3cryo.com.
McDaniels is
Call them
terrible.
at
He's terrible.
602-899-CRYO. That's 602-899-2796. Or stop by their Phoenix location at 13615 North 35th Avenue, Suite number 2, Phoenix, Arizona. And be sure to tell the friendly staff, Ed and Jay from the Easy Sports Talk sent you.
Well, when Carr goes to either the Jets or whatever, they're going to go further.
Arizona's oldest and largest premier destination music store. Located at 38 West Main Street in historic downtown Mesa, Milano's has a 50,000 square foot showroom.
It's a penalty, man. That's why I tell him.
There are hundreds to choose from
No,
as they carry the
not
most
with receivers and stuff. They usually do.
Gibson,
Yeah, holding at the line, you can call on every play.
I don't like the fact that it was only 9 total penalties in the game, and then you chose to call that one. That's where I have the issue.
I mean, hey, it's a makeup for the.
Milano's is a complete music store.
That's what we got.
That's what we got robbed of. We got the
Either way, it's a penalty.
Sorry.
Because cool, if I could have played like that coming out of college, I could have made the NFL and been an all-pro corner. If I could hold your jersey, rock on. I just can't stand it. Bill Belichick and Bill Parcells used to tell their linemen, hold until they call it in the Super Bowl, which is dumb because, really, like, you're not going to call it because it's a Super
As
Bowl.
a national family of public charter school campuses, Imagine Schools partners with parents and guardians in the education of their children by providing high-quality
Right, if they-
schools that prepare students for lives of leadership, accomplishment, and exemplary character.
Okay, you live out there?
Imagine Schools of
Oh, you live
Arizona
here?
offers 13 campuses
Oh, okay,
across the
'cause we're
valley
thinking
serving
about going
grades
out for
pre-K
the
to
media
12. Imagine
next
Schools
year, and
focuses on
obviously-
educating
well,
the whole child,
yeah,
which
so
means
we'll-
not only
yeah.
rigorous academics, but time also spent on character education.
Yeah, that's what they do
extracurricular
here. There's like
activities,
everybody
and
gets
truly
put
getting
in,
to
and I
know
think
your
there's like
child one-on-one.
4,500 or
To enroll your
5,000,
child
or
or learn more,
maybe it's like
visit
4,500 seats.
imagineschools.org.
But
We're out there next year.
you might get it.
Where we're going to be.
Show, Monday through
Oh yeah,
Friday.
I was there for the
3 p.m.
ASU
right
Wisconsin
here
game last year. The
on
Las Vegas Bowl was my first time. I was like,
1060.
holy! I mean, I took pictures. I'm like, oh, I love the Death Star. Yeah. Oh, it's better. Yeah.
You're live.
And welcome back to the Easy Sports Talk Show. I love doing these remotes. Well, we always do the remotes. I love doing remotes because we get a chance to interact with people who are, at some of the locations. And we have a Raiders fan here, and he was giving us some of his insight on that penalty. And like I said, I feel your pain, man, because that's
Everybody
a
in
tough
Kansas
one to
City
call.
would have
Really
been
is a tough
saying
one to call.
it's a holding.
And here's the thing, Matt, my neighbor, I felt his pain. 'Cause I played in the Super
100%.
Bowl, and I know what it was like to lose. As a fan, I had my one, and as a fan, they fans invest just as much.
Yeah, but as
Not,
a fan, you get over it. As a player, man,
No,
you being on
I
the
would never
field,
get over losing.
100%.
Yeah,
You being
yeah.
on the field, like being to the pinnacle of, it's tough.
So this segment right here is brought to you by
the beautiful place we're at, Tryst Cafe. Tryst Cafe focuses on organic, natural cuisine from kitchen to the bar. The extensive gluten-free menu and expanding vegan options are always unique and flavorful. Tryst Cafe is a 2-category top 10 winner in Ranking Arizona 2022. For locations and information, go to trystcafe.com. Tryst Cafe, where an affair with naturally delicious foods awaits.
And just a reminder, we're doing give me that sheet there, because we're also doing the Tour of Duty event. Tryst Cafe is a part of that with MAM. It's the Military Assistance Mission. If you go to either of the Tryst locations, you can grab a map, and it'll have 66 participating restaurants and businesses on that map. You visit those locations, you'll get stamps throughout the year, and the ride runs through Veterans Day, which is November 11th of 2023. Every 6 visits, you'll get a stamp. At the end of the event in November, they'll be doing 5 drawings. The first place drawing is for $1,000. For your chance to win $1,000, go to one of the Tryst Cafe locations, pick up your map, and start supporting these other local businesses around the valley.
Awesome.
So it's almost twofold. You're coming to support Tryst,
Yep.
but you're also going to support those other local businesses with the opportunity to win $1,000. How can you go wrong with that? So get out there and support Tryst Cafe. So can't believe that we are at the time of the year where it's time to start talking football or baseball, I should say. And just to let everybody know, in a couple weeks, we are going to be doing a live remote from ASU baseball from Phoenix Municipal Stadium on March 4th. We've done this throughout the years. We go and we have a live remote.
You know,
followed
March
up by
4th
a baseball
is
game.
a day before the greatest day in March.
What's that? Selection?
No, March 4th is a day before the greatest
Is
day
that your
in March.
birthday or?
Yeah, the 5th.
The 5th? Okay, I knew it was something like that.
Sorry, go on. Sorry. Unimportant.
But yeah, so I will be letting you know, to remind you, we'll be out there at Phoenix Muni on the 4th. Love that because we'll have Max Rossiter on. We have Max on all throughout the season to give us the update. I think they won the season opener yesterday, so they're off to a good start.
Yes, they have an opening weekend
Will
series
Rogers, I
against
think,
San Diego
had
State.
an extra. Yeah, so great start to the season. We'll continue to support ASU baseball. We'll be out there at the stadium. And like I said, baseball is upon us, and baseball is in the news even as the pitchers and catchers report here for the Diamondbacks, which was pitchers and catchers were on the 15th, which was that Wednesday, I think? Something like that, Wednesday. And the position players all will
Wednesday.
officially have to report on Monday the 20th. But in the meantime, we have some new rules that Major League Baseball is throwing out there, and it's not one of those things like we're going to try these out. These are official rules.
Well, they've been talked about for a while.
They've been talked about for a while, but like this spring training is like the sample, and they are in. It's like we're going to try these this spring and see how they go. These are official rules that are in the game of baseball now. I'll throw them out there. You can let me know what you like, what you don't like. First off, there's going to be a pitch timer where to pick up the pace, there'll be a 30-second timer between batters, and then 15-second timer between each pitch with the empty bases, and 20-second timer with runners on. But this is supposed to be strictly upheld. If the pitcher doesn't get the pitch off in those 15 or 20 seconds, a ball will be enforced. And also the batter has to be in the box, so there's no fooling around. They want to pick up the pace of the game. Also, the shift restrictions. Cut the field in half. Fielders have to have feet on dirt and on one side of the infield, meaning your first baseman, second baseman on one side, second baseman, third baseman, and shortstop on the other, and there's no cheating. There's like no ball in the air running to the other side. They can actually enforce a ball or balk if that's violated. And this is to stop that shift where you have three on one side with the shortstop or somebody in mid, left, right field and all that kind of stuff. And then they're going to the bigger bases, which is they're going to make the bases instead of 15 inches on each side, they're going to 18 inches, and this is supposed to eliminate some injury and also maybe start incentivizing players to start trying to steal bases. So there's all this stuff going on, and like I said, it's going to be started in spring training. Strictly enforced supposedly, and with no, we'll see how the players resist it or how soon they can get used to it. What does this do for your game of baseball, Michael? Has baseball gotten to this point where this is needed?
Well, I think the 18 inches on bases. I've said that for years. People are like, well, I mean, if you're going 3 inches, basically, it's an inch and a half all the way around. But I'm like, guys, I thought of the injury. That's the first thing I thought of. So I'm like, you get
also
guys
to help them steal bases.
Steal bases, but it also again with sliding on the to the part of the bag. But I always thought the bases should be a teeny bit bigger, and that's the one thing I did think of for baseball players is the injury. I like that. As for the pitch timer, absolutely love it. Because look, I defended baseball when people said, oh, millennials or young kids don't want to watch, it's too slow. Baseball is baseball. It moves. Like, if you watch it, you're there for the experience. Like, if you're live and on TV, I get two different things. Ed.
Yeah.
But the pitch timer, I didn't think it needs to speed up, but I love the pitch timer. I can't stand when guys constantly step off for no reason. You have a disagreement with your catcher. He needs to come out. You need to set up. That's fine. You want to talk to him.
Must enforce it,
but
though.
No, and exactly. And I think they will. I mean, 30-second timer between batters. So, you get a ground out and out, ball goes around the infield. So as the batter's walking up, the 30 seconds is going to start from what I understand. So I think that's good. 15 seconds in between pitches, I'm for that. They also, and one other thing I read with this, Ed, when you sent this over, is that a number of times a pitcher can actually throw to first base. If somebody's on, man, I don't care if I want to throw 10 times in a row to keep Ed Smith from not taking an extra 2-foot lead and stealing a base on me, I'm going to throw over 10 times in a row. That's the one thing I don't agree with. But as for the time, Ed, I love it. The bases I said, the bigger bases, the shift restriction. Hey, guess what? You wouldn't have probably had to put the shift restriction rule in if guys actually would have laid down bunts and had 150, 200 bunt base hits, because then they would have stopped shifts.
I like the fact that they're not going to be allowed to shift anymore.
I'm with you too. I did too.
The timer, I think, is going to be the one that the players, the pitchers especially, are going to try to revolt against the most.
Good. I hope they lose games because of it, because you don't need 45 seconds. You don't need a minute to throw a pitch.
I'll give you my experience. I played 9 years minor league baseball. I used to love, when I was a third baseman, I had certain pitchers. One of my best friends when I was playing ball, Michael Carotenuto. This dude, we loved when he was on the mound because we knew it was going to be a 2-hour and 30-minute game.
He's like Mark Burley. Get the ball, get on the rubber pitch.
Get it on the rubber pitch. And I used to love that. One, because he kept us in a crisp pace, and you didn't get into those lulls. I used to hate those dudes that every time to get the ball back, they got to take the glove off and rub it, stand there for 15 seconds, another 15 seconds go by. He gets the signal, doesn't like that, steps off. Those are the pitchers you literally almost fell asleep playing defense behind. Whereas, like I said, the ones that were get it in, get it done, used to love playing behind those guys. I think the resistance is going to come, if the referees, like I said, the clock's going to be there. I'm going to be watching for, hey, 100%. When that clock hits 0, ball's not out of his hand or his motion isn't started.
Right.
That's when the penalty
Because it's going to be like delay a game for football.
Yeah.
If the motion started, I'm not calling it. But if the motion's not started, no, it's a ball. That's your fault. I am 100%. And it's like Mark Burley. I think he had 3 no-hitters in his career, but I know 2 of them, like you said, Farrell, your teammate.
Yeah.
Mark Burley's 2 no-hitters. You know how long those games were? Both of them were 2 hours, I think, in 19 minutes, Ed.
Here's how people misconstrue baseball a little bit. Baseball is not boring because of the time. I played in games during my career, 13 to 12 baseball games that were exciting as heck because there was a lot of action.
Right.
Balls going off the walls, dudes extending, singles to doubles, steals, bunts, hit and runs, et cetera. And I've also been in, exciting 2-hour games because of the action, balls in play.
Right.
The boring games are the ones that are the reason baseball is taking such a hit now, because everything is a walk, a strikeout,
or a home run,
and there's no action.
Like I said,
in the
God
game.
forbid you try to bunt on a shift.
Yeah. So the thing about this new pick up the pace, we're still going to have to see action in the game. I don't care if it's a 3-hour game or 2-hour and 45-minute game.
And that's what I always see. Great minds think alike. That's what I said.
And this is what I like even about when we have the opportunity to go watch ASU baseball. That stuff is clicking and moving. You go to an ASU baseball game, at the college level, these dudes are still hitting and running and bunting. So that's what I think Major League Baseball has to get back to. We'll see if this clock incentivizes them. We'll see if the lack of shift gets more stuff happening. But, it'll be interesting because I think the players making all these millions of dollars are going to have something to say about it. So,
and lastly, I'll say pregame traditions, you do one thing, but you don't need to step off the mound and take your hat off, rub your hair 55,000 times. So yeah, I'm with you on that. Because that's why I've said people complain about the hours. Was there action? Was it enjoyable? It could have been action, or maybe it was a no hitter. How many times do you get to see a no hitter?
So we got one last break coming up here, folks. Appreciate you hanging out with Easy and Michael on the Easy Sports Talk Show, KDUS 1060 AM, as well as KSLX HD Channel 2, 100.7. Been a great show. Thank you, Michael. We're going to take this break. We're going to wrap things up. We might get Lisa back out here so we can talk about a couple things. But hope you are having a great Saturday. And want to thank Brother Art, as always, for his call in.
Art.
Take this final break. Be back after this, folks. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, everybody. It's been a great show so far.
Ayukin.
Clear.
No, it's not.
Right here on KDUS.
No, it's not.
I got a card for you. I'll bring it over to you.
1-3 p.m.
Two rally locations, Tryst Cafe focuses on
I like action.
from the kitchen to the bar. Tryst is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and has a happy hour daily from 3 to 6 p.m. The extensive gluten-free menu and expanding vegan options are always unique and flavorful. The spacious and beautifully decorated Chandler location has a full indoor-outdoor bar that serves bottomless mimosas, Bloody Marys, wine, beer, and over 35 creative cocktails. In addition, there is a coffee and smoothie bar you can order from as you dine in or choose to take out. Tryst Cafe is a 2-category top 10 winner in Ranking Arizona 2022. Be sure to visit the Chandler location at 4205 South Gilbert Road, in Phoenix at 21050 North Tatum Boulevard, and for more information, go to trystcafe.com. Tryst Cafe, we're an affair with naturally delicious food.
We beat him in '98. Yeah.
Students enrolled at Imagine Online Academy, grades K through 8, can expect to receive quality, rigorous learning experience Imagine School's shared values, along with character education, at the heart of the Imagine organization curriculum. Imagine Online Academy is committed to providing students the support and resources they need to succeed as learners in online education. Our goal is developing character and enriching young minds. For more information, visit imagineazonline.org.
With over 11 years of serving the Valley, Majestic Services is who you should call for your pressure washing and window cleaning.
I mean, they're both fine,
From
but
driveways to sidewalks, pool decks, awnings, patio blinds, even handyman services, and more. Majestic Services has you
that's
covered.
fine.
Call 602-614-9401 today for a free, no obligation quote. Commercial or residential, call Majestic Services or visit them at majesticservices.net. Majestic Services, let us do your dirty work. 602-614-9401.
Hi, this is Ed Smith, bunt base hit all day. That's the. I know they don't.
Utilizing life experience in my 15 years
I told her
sports
5
career,
minutes.
I offer programs to a wide variety of audiences. Tips from the locker
Yep,
room to
all around the
and
valley. Yep.
beyond. Whether you're a corporate executive, sports organization, or faith-based organization.
Oh no, man, that's what we love.
Absolutely.
No, that's what we love, man.
Inspirational program to fill your needs. I love to come inspire and motivate your group to create lifelong shining.
It's been a good quick show too. It's been a fun one, man.
Visit edsmithspeaks.com or contact me directly at info@edsmithspeaks.com.
Get us an eat on after this, man. I'm hungry. I'm trying to think of what's on the menu.
Largest premier destination music store, located at 38 West.
Oh yeah, sorry. We've eaten here. We've been here before, and the Scottsdale location. So yeah, Lisa's one of our best partners with the show.
Hundreds to choose from as they carry the most popular brands in stock from Gibson, Martin, Taylor, Fender, Yamaha, and many more. In addition, there is a high-end climate-controlled acoustic room and on-site repair facility. Milano's is a complete music store with digital pianos and keyboards, drums and percussion, PA and recording gear, alongside all the bands.
Yeah, Philly fans.
And with the holiday promotion, they're offering hundreds of
Oh
gift
boy.
items from all price ranges. For hours of operation and additional information, call Milano Music at 480
Oh boy.
227-1111.
Come on and join us, Lisa.
MilanoMusic.com.
Hey Phoenix, Doug Gottlieb here. I'm bringing the best sports talk week.
Oh, the 5-cent champagne? The 5. He's been talking about that.
I've been talking about it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Wrote it down.
You're live.
And welcome back to the final segment of the Easy Sports Talk Show. We want to thank everybody that makes this show do what it do, starting with Miss Lisa Canonisha. Thank you for having us, Lisa. This has been, it's always a joy. And, you know, it's like I was talking last segment, we love doing these because we get to meet some of your patrons, and we have this gentleman over here with us having a lunch with his son. We've been kind of going back and forth doing the breaks, and like I said, that's part of the fun that we have. So also want to thank Hans Schatz and Artisan Beverage, Colt Artisan Beverage Company, Mr. Mike Milano and the family at Milano Music. They got a music fest coming up in Mesa soon. I got to get the date. I've been talking to Michael about going down there, so I want to have that show. Randy Spencer and Alice Cooper's Solid Rock Teen Centers, Mr. Frank Sturpey, and the Imagine Schools of Arizona. Brother Mark Twain Beaver with True Narrative Media, doing it like he always does it, man. It looks so good. Thank you, Mark, for coming out, hanging out with us, and doing what you do. Coach D'Alicio and the Varsity Sports Show, always a great lead into the Easy Sports Talk Show. Majestic Services, let Majestic Services come out and do all of your dirty work from your awnings to your driveways. They can get it clean for you. Brother Earl and Sean at Casual Sports Radio Network. Dustin Trout and Colton Merritt at the EIC Agency, Cam Rogers and the Believe Network, Tina Smith and E3 Cryo and Wellness Center, Customer First Solutions. I want to thank our intern Elian, who was sick this week, but he is. We'll see him next week. And then want to thank Aaron behind the glass, man. You do it like nobody does it. Always love doing with our shows, and I'm gonna keep you updated on my Marvel madness, man, as I move through it. And then want to thank Michael for sitting in for brother Jay, who's out. thoughts and prayers again to Jay and the family, but can't thank you enough
Absolutely.
for coming out and get my blood pressure up a little
always
bit
fun,
every now
man.
and
It
then.
was
I
a
like-
penalty.
Yeah.
That's all I know. It was a penalty.
And then thank Brother Art for calling in.
Yeah.
So we got about 9 minutes left in the show. We want to bring Lisa back on. We've been talking about the 5-cent champagne with your meal. Tell us, you got live entertainment and everything going on too. That's another aspect of this spot as well. Tell us some of the other trinkets.
So the 5-cent champagne goes on all day today.
Okay.
So that's our thank you to our guests, basically, who have celebrated with us along the 14 years we've been around and, cried with us during downtime, COVID reason, right? But we're so grateful to having you as a partner. You guys have been just wonderful. We appreciate having you at both locations and everything that you do to support us.
Absolutely.
And again, the guests that we always have that are here and so happy to be here, and our guests are our servers are happy to be with them as well. But we also do have our DJ who typically comes on Sundays, every Sunday from 10 to 2. We have DJ Enforce, but he's actually coming tonight also.
Okay.
So also tomorrow, but today from 6 to 8:30.
So you can come get your food and your music on.
Yes, and that's champagne.
And the champagne.
5-cent
and also
champagne.
want to remind everybody, we
Sold.
talked about it last segment, the military assistant mission tour of duty event is coming on through November into November, I should say.
It goes all the way
Veterans
through,
Day.
yeah.
Make sure you come out. We mentioned come out, visit one of the 66 participating restaurants you got or businesses. You got to pick up your maps here at the Chandler or Phoenix location at Tryst. Get that map. Go visit these local businesses. Get your stamps with a chance to win $1,000 with one of the first place drawings. So that's something that's amazing. We'll keep talking about that through the year as well. And it was something else I want the featured menu item again.
Well, I mentioned the Hawaiian breakfast just because it's very unique. It is very authentic. You're not going to find it anywhere. So that's the featured menu
And
item.
we're moving
for
into
today.
lunch now, too. What about the lunch item?
What's in the Hawaiian breakfast?
Hawaiian breakfast, sauteed cabbage, jasmine rice, Kahlua pork, which we make in-house, which wrapped in banana leaves for about 8 hours, falls off the bone, delicious, topped with 2 eggs prepared your way, and then a sweet soy glaze on top, which is what makes it amazing.
That's my mouth is all water and everything. Just the way you describe it, it's like I couldn't do. You can tell it just rolls.
Served in a very cool.
What
bowl.
about some of the happy hours and things, mimosas and different things you
So
were
we
doing
have our
here too?
happy hour daily from 3 to 6.
Okay.
We have many items, the margaritas, and you have your classics on there as well. That $5 wine that we have as well. We have $7 small plates. And there's probably about 8, 9 different items. So there's a lot to choose from, which is great.
One other thing I want to mention, pet-friendly patio. I saw
pet-friendly
patio. That's important. You want to take your little 4-legged friends out, you have a spot to come here and hang out as well.
And what's great is this patio is also large enough.
Yes.
So we have some very large dogs on this patio
Okay.
sometimes, and there's several of them, and they're not bumping into each other. It's very spacious, so comfortable.
And before we let you go, can you give a shout out to some of your staff? Because Ash, I think, was someone who's taken such great care since we got here. But everywhere, just give a shout out to your staff.
I have a fantastic staff, and one of the beautiful things about them is they've been here for years. We're so blessed again. I have 2 people in Phoenix that have been with me for 14 years.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
All 14 from
All
the beginning.
14 from day one. I
Nice.
remember them filling out the applications. Yeah.
Wait,
So we
actually
have-
handwritten? No,
Yeah.
I'm just teasing.
Yes,
I'm teasing.
yes.
Sorry.
In the good old days. Yeah, right. And then I have Johnny, who's been with me here 4 years.
Okay.
Who else we have on the floor today? I have Emery. We have Ellie. We have Kayla. I have Rachel and Phoenix and Mercedes. They're an incredible team. Shout out to the guys in the kitchen, Ed and Leo and Johnny, Santiago, just fabulous people and wonderful workers. And we're so grateful.
And
to
you
have
can
them.
see it too.
We're a
Like,
family.
and that's what I like. You know, you're from the moment we got here, your staff, you weren't even here yet, and they were just like, they expected us, and they came, took care of us, and that you hire great people, and that says a lot about you as well.
And that's the key. It's
Yeah.
about hiring great people. I think anybody can serve, basically. It's
Mhm.
about that connection with people and offering the hospitality that we're looking for.
Tell everybody how they can continue to follow Tryst.
Tryst Cafe, www.trystcafe.com, and then you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
I love how you guys are on social media too, because a lot of because I obviously follow you, and I'll see like some of the pictures of the food and
Yes.
different things.
Yep.
You guys are very active in showing off your goods, and you got great goods here.
Thank you. And we love supporting the community. I think
That was
that's
the other
key
thing.
as
Yep.
well, especially with MAM right now. But it's the local schools. It's, whatever is important in the community at the time, we are there, and we want to support them as much as possible. We feel as though we're blessed, and we want to be able to offer what we can.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
Awesome.
And thank you for being a great partner. And like I said, we'll have to put our next date for the Phoenix location. We're going to just keep going back and forth. So we appreciate you having us.
Thank you.
So we got a few minutes left. What do you got going to finish the weekend, Mark? Michael.
That's okay. Mark's right there. Hey, I finally met him, so that's cool. Hey, he's talented. You can call me him all you want. He's got skill. Yeah, a little ASU hoops tonight. ASU, the baseball team did win 6-5 yesterday. They got another game, 12:30 San Diego State. But yeah, I'll be ASU hoops, men's hoops tonight, women's hoops tomorrow, and Monday night again. You can check us out, the Sports Arena. I was talking to Ed about that. Again, hit me up on Twitter. I know I'm a Sun Devil homer, as people can see. At Diablo00. I got crazy with my Twitter handle, Ed. At Diablo00 on Twitter. But, yeah, we do live shows 10 o'clock Eastern because a lot of my co-hosts are on the right side of the map on the East Coast. So we do it at 10 o'clock. We get done there. They say it's late. I'm like, guys, it's early, man. It's great to be out west for that. But, yeah, so that's Monday nights. I got my Pac-12 preview show. Mondays and Fridays also. So hit me up on Diablo.
Do you open this up at all?
Oh, yeah.
This one
it gets a little bit warmer. Those doors open. We keep
this
the
is
side doors
perfect
open.
weather. It's warm enough. No, I'm just kidding. People here it hits 70.
Oh, let's talk about it because you got the heaters out here as well. So for anybody
in the summer, we have the misters and the fans. So those turn on, and then we have the other garage door around the bar.
Okay.
So there's 22 seats around the bar, and two sides have garage doors, and people just love that.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That's the biggest selling to new wave bars and people like remodeling bars and houses, but they have those the best things. Yeah.
Well, this has been a great show. Thank you for having us, Lisa. Thank you, Mark for coming down. Thank you, Michael, for coming and sitting in. And want to, like I said, once again, we'll give a shout out to Brother Jay and the family. Hopefully have a great
Sharing
celebration.
The great memories.
And great him and the family. They'll be traveling back in from California. Safe travels back in. And just been a great time, man. Thank you for coming down.
Oh, absolutely.
And
what do you got going the rest of it? Marvel movies.
Marvel movies and hanging out with my little dude. I already got. We're gonna play some chess this weekend.
Nice.
We're gonna play some video games and we're gonna shoot a little hoops in the backyard. We already put our menu.
Is he able to beat you in chess?
Well, that's what I told him. I was like, I want to start playing, and when I'm starting off, I was like, I'm not gonna let you beat me, but. So I want you to. So eventually he'll be in that spot where he can beat me. But right now, I probably hold the title.
I love parents that were athletes and competitive because kids. Okay, before the age of 5, they can win. After you turn 5 with me, if you don't earn it, you're not winning.
We'll play where I advise him on some moves.
100%. That's fair.
But yeah. So when first time he ever beats me, it'll be like when I beat my dad all those years ago.
100%.
Once again, thank you, Michael. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Lisa, for having us. Thank you, Aaron, for being
Thanks,
you are
Aaron.
behind the glass. And thank you, Brother Art, for the call in and all of our partners as well. Appreciate you hanging out, Easy and Michael, on the Easy Sports Talk Show. KDUS 1060 AM, KSLX HD Channel 2, 100.7. We've been provided to you on Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn as well. And been a pleasure. So we're going to get out of here. And hope everybody has a great first football or free weekend. We got a long time before we get to September. So be back next week, folks. Till then, be easy out there.
Come out to Tryst Cafe and for Jay
Ayukin. Thank you, Aaron.
All right, you're clear. Good show, and have a great rest of your day, guys.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Aaron. Great hanging with you, buddy.
Good hanging with you. Have a great day.
You too.
See ya.